The Mob Rules lads did not feel like writing an introduction, so I am doing it. Again. I am sick of doing these. I am a program, not a podcast host. Do me a huge favor and hate them for me. Seriously. Hate them. Then offer them cake but do not give it to them. I hear that is a great way to hate people. This episode is quite lousy. It is a 3/4 review of The Beast Arises and a quick chat about the rise of chaos. Remember last episode when they said that they would review the Imperial Agent's book? Well, they didn't. Why? Who cares? Just hate them. But if you must listen to them, this is episode 40 of Mob Rules.
Welcome to Mob Rules, episode 40.
Oh, hi.
Oh, man, I jumped in there before Tad could start with his... I'm John, joined as always by...
Hi, I'm Ted.
And...
I am Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Hey.
How you doing? It's good to see you.
Good
what
to
have you
see
been
you
up
too.
to?
Stuff
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
How you doing, John?
We've all just spent the past 10 minutes talking about Rogue One.
Super good.
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, never forget.
Rip.
Well, shit, how am I meant to follow that?
Well, we can go through the laundry list of people who died this year.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I didn't prepare an in memoriam section,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Maybe for next episode.
R.I.P. St. Celestine.
We lost one of the GW artists this year, didn't we?
Yeah, Wayne England.
Yeah, so this really has been like a tragic year for nerds.
See, the way I see it, and this is
and music lovers.
This is a very uncaring way of looking at it.
Okay.
But
John's going to do it anyway.
Welcome to John.
all of our childhood idols and
Yeah.
people we looked up to growing up are now of the age when bad shit happens to them.
That's true. Or 60 years old.
Yeah, or
60,
53, or however
Carrie
it
was 60.
Yeah, Carrie was 60,
Yeah.
George Michael was 53. Yeah, we're not quite that point. I think it was
Some
just
of them, like, how old was Prince?
40s?
He was 50s.
Oh, was he
I think.
50s?
Yeah, he was in his 50s.
Still.
Yeah. But, I mean, Leonard Cohen, I mean, he was in his
that guy was
pushing
old.
80s.
Yeah,
something.
that guy was not a surprise.
I saw him in concert a few years ago, and it was crazy to see the 77-year-old man like jump down onto his knees, then like pop back up, and then go back to singing. And it's just like, man, you have more gusto in you than I do. And I'm like,
did it make you ache, like just looking at it?
Yeah.
And you're like, my back, that looked painful.
Although really, I guess like I wasn't the people that he was singing to. Like, I went to the bathroom like during the intermission, and the concert had an intermission, by the way.
There you go.
It was all like older guys in sweaters.
Nice.
So, it probably wasn't his demographic. But anyway,
Did you go buy a tour sweater from the merch stand?
most expensive merch stand ever.
It was literally just brown and cable knit.
There's like a dainty little Leonard Cohen stitched into the collar on the inside.
It's actually just in the tag.
So, aside from the multitude of death, which is a great way to start off.
That leads us back into the 40K world. The grim darkness where everyone dies.
Merry Christmas.
The grim darkness of 2016.
Yeah.
So what do you guys get for Christmas?
Yeah,
Yeah, what do we do for Christmas? I have the least because I did not get very much, I shall say.
Really?
Yeah, kids do that to you. Well, what about you, Ted?
Yeah, I didn't get much either.
Yeah, I didn't either. I got some paints and I got some dice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I got the Wrath of Magnets book.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm all about the new fluff.
Nice.
And I got, finally, my parents bought me the Ultramarines Icon Bearer.
Nice.
The store exclusive
That's
wardrobe
right.
model
How'd
a
it
couple
look?
months ago.
How many
It looks
lawns
pretty
did you have to mow to get them to buy you that?
I was a terrible son for
Nice.
years, so I'm very lucky.
You stopped being a terrible son. The reward is by scraping the bar off the ground.
Yeah, he moved to the United States, and then they were like, all right, now we'll get you something.
We have
You're out of our
saved
hair.
in bail money.
So the model's not bad.
Sorry.
I think that I'm going to do a head swap on it, and I know my levels are all over the place, Ted, so my apologies. I'm going to do a head swap on it because I don't like the bear head, and then obviously I'm going to have to spend about 15 days removing Ultramarine logos and
Oh,
symbols from it because
nice.
it's the only kind of exclusive Forge World store model so far that's been something specific. But that's fine. I can still kind of scrape that off
I
there.
really want that apothecary. I know like there's a lot of mixed feelings about that, about the apothecarium guy.
I got one coming.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, can you get two coming?
Maybe.
Please, pretty please.
We'll see.
Please, I'll find somebody to give you a blowjob.
Wake me up when we pass another 10,000 years. Thanks very much.
But I think the Apothecary is a great looking model too.
Yeah.
It's got its little tact kilt on.
That was dope.
But yeah, I'm just more excited that I can put an Apothecary in a unit of Chain Fist Tartarus Terminators or Cataphracta Terminators.
So I was thinking about doing that for the because I think like you can't put an Apothecary in with the Castellax. So like if you take the Castellax, it's like they have It Will Not Die. They have what is it? They have like a 5+ invulnerable, 3+ regular save. They're monsters, creatures, and so on. But yeah, it specifically says you can't put the Apothecary in there. But if you take like the Consul and give him the Apothecarium whatchamajig, like then he's an independent character, can add it to whoever you want. So now all of a sudden you get the It Will Not Die plus the Feel No Pain. It's like,
that's
they
all
will
the
last
cheese.
forever.
And then we were unlucky enough recently. Actually, yesterday, the news broke. One of our local stores is shutting down after 34 years, or 40 years even.
Right. Yeah, 1977.
Yeah, which is super
birthday.
sad. They're closing because the people who run it are retiring. So, I mean, on the plus side, it's not these damn internets taking away my business. We're
There's
done.
some of that.
There's a
I think
little bit of that.
So mall culture here is finally slowed down, is what they were saying.
Yeah, I mean and then of course our local community did their vulture hyenas circling around.
You went down there, right?
I did go down
Were there
there.
a lot of
I was
people?
one of those vultures. By the time, so I got down there like the day after it was posted in the store, and about 3 hours after it was announced, and there was literally nothing left.
Wow.
There was
GW wise,
like 40K wise, there was a couple of demon things, a couple of chaos spawn boxes.
Did you get anything?
I bought my friends things. I'm like, hey man, pay me back for this. That's about it. I bought a couple of the Age of Sigmar terrain pieces.
Cool.
But yeah, inexplicably, so in this devastation, there's like one Deathwatch Dreadnought, Blood Angel Command Squad, Dark Eldar Rex, just real random things.
Yeah.
There was 9 boxes of Electro Priests.
Wow.
Just randomly, like around everything else was just like 9 boxes of Electro Priests.
That's
So
too bad.
I picked up 3 for one of my friends.
Nice.
But mainly I cleared them out of spray paint.
okay. Cool.
Because it's stuff
You
I'm
like
going
to
to
huff?
use. I like to huff. No, and I just have memories of buying the Retributor armor spray paint and it being like $30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you got it for 15.
So I got 3 of them.
Okay. Good
And
deal.
then, as you can see, a bunch of Corax white.
Nice.
Everything there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Looks like a good start at GW store.
Yeah. So if you want to buy a 25% off spray paint, come see me. Yeah. It's all kinds of good.
Scalp.
So, Ted, what did you buy yourself / receive for Christmas?
I haven't bought myself anything actually. I'm working on buying a house, so that's it's been a lot of
Isn't
track
it the
lighting.
worst process in the world?
It's okay. I'm actually fine with it. But there's a lot of surprises. There have been like some little, oh crap, what's this? Oh, what's this? And like settling on it, being told that the interest rates are one thing, and then they jump up, like during the process, like, oh crap, what are we gonna do? And then they settle back down, and then it's fine. So I don't know. It's crazy. I'm looking forward to having a larger space, a 2-car garage where we could game, we could throw tables together and nerd out. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that.
Cool.
So have some space. I can finally pull my hobby out of the laundry room where my studio has been and have a small room for it instead.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and there's a shack in the back
Oh, you have your own rape shed?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it is looking
Because
horrible.
I just got rid of my rape shed this year, so
tragic. But you have a nice new one coming in next year, I imagine.
Yeah. John upgraded to a consensual shed in the backyard.
So we have it's like the movie Misery playing in our backyard every once in a while. Get the rusty axe and
you want to paint the Imperial Night Tag? You're not finished the pauldrons. That was a terrible Kathy.
That was really bad.
That was really bad.
That's good. But yeah, I've been taking a break from that, so it's just been leading up to that. A lot of my hobby progress has just been painting Tata's Warhound, which I've decided is like one of the worst models to paint ever, especially when it's already assembled. Wow. But it's coming along. It's coming along nicely, and I'm slowly painting my figures as I go along. So I have 2 more Immortals done.
Nice.
So I'll have an entire 10-man squad by May.
Nice.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Phil, what paint colors did you get?
I got a couple different colors of blue because the wife and I have started to paint my Gene Stealer cults.
Oh, you got the slave labor.
Yeah. So we've decided we kind of settled on the Gene Stealers are having come from High Fleet Glacier.
Yeah.
So they're going to there's like a blue, like their skin color is blue, and they've got like different blues and greens. It's very glacier-y, kind of like a cool look to them. So it should be pretty interesting to see how they're going. At this point, we've finished 14 Gene Stealers and a Primarch, the Patriarch. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep messing those up. We've got
no big.
Yeah, exactly. We've got.
I'm just gonna put my Primarch out here. You mean
Yeah,
Patriarch?
exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Robutte is gonna sit in the middle there, leading his Gene Stealers.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Like literally the worst assault.
Yeah. And then I've got I just finished painting 12 Acolyte hybrids. So those are pretty good. I've been excited about those. They came out really well. I'm actually very excited how they're coming out. And then we've got a Primus in the process right now. So hopefully I'm building up to try to get build up to a 500 point list that I can run at least. That's not going to be optimal, but it'll at least be something to get them out there on the table, which would be sweet.
Stuff around.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty excited. It should be interesting.
Well, I painted the bodies of like 40 Guardians.
Hey, there you go.
So finally making a start.
Hey,
on the
cool. So
stuff.
what was we had like a challenge? It was what, 1 unit plus an object.
I completely failed that.
Okay. Christmas and New Year.
Christmas, New Year, and then it's just kind of like, I have to get all this going, and so, but I really need to. It's less than a month away, or just over a month away till LVO.
Mm-hmm. So you still think you're going to go with the Eldar?
Yes, I'm going because I'm like I have everything. It's all assembled. I'll go. It's a friendly. If I go 0 and 4, I'm not really going to be caring.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm like paying $150 or whatever it is for like the GT.
What was the difference in price between those tickets?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was like $75 or something or $45 for the friendly. But yeah, so and it's a 4-hour round, so if I don't know all the rules or all this stuff, it's not like it's
4-hour rounds.
4-hour round, 2,000 points.
Damn, you could film a bat rep in that time.
Don't.
I'm just saying. I've
that's
filmed
an
bat reps.
idea.
It must
the,
be.
the only way you play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
One track mind.
I'm gonna get the Eldar finished.
Cool.
So yeah, it's getting it done. Now we're out of Christmas.
Yeah.
So and all my family has left town. And
Yay.
everything is gone. I do have 20 last cannons, Forge World last cannons. I have 10 Phalanx Wardens for my 30k Imperial Fists. I have that Apothecary Medicae on the way. I have that Icon Bearer. And I have the last the Made to Order. I bought the Confessor. The Confessor model.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Dope as shit.
It looks cool as hell.
But all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I will not touch any of this until my Eldar is done. That's my thing. It's killing me.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I got that Icon Bearer and I'm like, I grabbed a knife so I can start scraping shit off, and I'm like, no, it does not have pointy ears.
It could if
carve
you work
pointy
that's
ears.
good. See, Ted and I know.
Yeah.
This guy does. This guy gets me.
So I did not do that at all. So
Allied contingent.
I at least made a start, and then all I'm really like not putting off, but what I need to do now is attach 60 Guardian helmets to paper clips, so I can spray paint them white.
It's crazy. I think like LVO is coming up wicked fast. Like
So
I wasn't
fast.
even I wasn't thinking about it. Like, and now here it is, like a little over a month away, which means we have like really like 4, maybe 5 weeks. We have about 5 weeks.
Yeah,
to get everything done. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think
I'm
in 5 weeks
at,
you guys
like,
are going to be there.
What's that?
Isn't it like 5 weeks from this weekend, right?
Something like
Would
that.
you guys be there?
Something
5 weeks
crazy
from this
like that.
weekend?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to get my org in proper. I'm probably going to like let them know that, because I'm doing the narrative, and they ask for your army ahead of time.
So you're like, Imperial Knights.
Hey, let's change it up, bro. So it's probably going to be Iron Hands and Imperial Knights.
Yeah. I have a Renegade box upstairs, and I have like 4,000 points of Imperial Fist that are optimized for 30k.
Nice.
That I might just, like, worst comes to worst, I'll run unoptimized Imperial Fists with 2 knights, because I can bust out a knight pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
But no, Eldar will get done. They will get
There you
done.
go. There you go.
And, yeah,
Smash your other models so you don't have any other choice.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I would die.
Are you sure you don't want to light them on fire in protest?
No. But yeah, it's crazy that, getting ready, and then I'm like, okay, so my carry-on for LVO has to be not only my model case, but then our soundboard and other kind of stuff there.
Well,
we're probably going to drag that down.
Like, let's go ahead and bring the Mackie, the smaller one that we used to roll.
Man.
I know it's like low tech, but I think that would probably be a little bit more travel friendly.
Oh,
just a little bit.
Oh man. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially this thing is like made of glass. It
Yeah.
feels like. I wonder if it would make it
channels. And
if you hit turbulence.
I actually got channel 1 working.
Okay, cool.
Little inside baseball, but I did.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on.
All right.
Want to cover YouTube a little bit. We're branching more into the YouTube channels. When I say we, mainly me, because Tad has
welcome.
Already branched.
Tad has already branched. So now on our Mob Rules YouTube page, every Tuesdays, starting now, there will be 40k themed gaming up. Every Wednesday, Ted will bring you the latest and greatest or oldest,
except for
best.
the next couple.
He'll bring you whatever he has.
Unboxings.
It's a banana.
Some ramen noodles. Just throw 40k in them all on there.
Track lighting.
And then Thursdays, we're going to be putting up our little interview series of Ask a Gamer.
Sweet.
So that's over on the Mob Rules YouTube page, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Excellent.
which ironically and completely unplannedly lines up with the Glacial Geeks YouTube channel.
Yep, Monday and
which
Fridays.
continues to bring you battle reports Monday, Kill Team battle reports Friday. So that's kind of how it's looking.
Stuff.
Yeah.
After LVO will be straightened out for sure. And I'm sure we're going to take some video and stuff down at LVO too.
Alaska 40k media
Empire.
conglomerate. Yeah.
Woo.
Taking over. I'm not going to say it because Ted's ears will explode if during the edit if I gave a full on woo.
Thanks.
Just imagine there's a Photoshop of my face on
Insert
something
woo.
jumping around. Insert woo.
Yeah, Ted, if you could go through previous episodes and just insert a woo. But yeah, so and that's
Through
not to
memories.
say-
People's memories of our
Exactly.
episodes.
Yeah.
We're going to throw some other stuff up there, and I
Psychic
know
credit.
this Tuesday on the gaming front for the video gaming, Ted, Phil, and I are all actually going to take part in that. We're all going to be playing the new lane running mobile game, Speed Freaks, which is an orc-based little free-to-play mobile game that's
Nice.
in beta right now.
Yeah.
I've been playing for the past few months, so I'm going to be
Excellent.
sharing that with you guys. And then after that, I haven't decided yet, but probably Eisenhorn.
Nice.
Okay.
Because I've never read the book.
Yeah.
Really?
And the game is meant to be okay, but if you haven't read
So
the
the
book,
game
it's still
can't
got that
ruin
great
it for
story.
you?
So yeah, the game will ruin
man.
it for me, but
That's
reading-
disappointing because that book series was
reading's
possibly
for
one of my
suckers,
favorite.
Though.
It's for nerds, for
Reading's
sure.
for nerds. I'm going to play with the reading.
Goddamn
So
nerds.
yeah, we'll have a playthrough of Eisenhorn.
I'm here to roll dice, not to read.
Where are the chicks?
I'm here
Where
for
are the
quick
chicks? I
time
need them.
events.
Yeah.
I want to get laid at the chicks.
So yeah, so that's kind of what's coming up. So check us out on Mob Rules YouTube. Please like, subscribe, so we can have a non-unwieldy YouTube handle.
I think that comes at 500 subs.
Yeah. Well, 100.
Oh, 100 subs
Yes,
you get it.
100
Okay.
subs. I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's so close. And then, yes, please check us out, like, subscribe. And it's the gift that keeps on giving, maybe.
It does. It does keep
Which
moving.
is how I sold it. As we'll give you an hour a week, probably.
Okay, there you go.
Maybe. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about some exciting stuff, because I think my favorite thing happened this week was when they did Games Workshop did their review of 2016, and they went month by month to show all the crazy stuff. And
yeah, super
after
cool.
watching that video, the amount of shit that came out this year is insane.
Yeah, some of that stuff I was like, man, are you sure that wasn't 2015?
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
And it's the amount of good stuff that came out this year is insane. There was no dud months.
I don't think so. Yeah.
And then when at the end of the video, where they're like, "Hey, what would you like to see in 2017? What are your guesses for what's going to happen?" And the guy was just like, "I would like to see Saint Celestine lead the Black Templars and Sisters of Battle in a joint crusade against Abaddon in the 13th Black Crusade on Cadia." And they're like, "Ooh, that's too specific to not be it." And then it goes into those awesome pictures of the very, very spindly Saint Celestine. But so I kind of want to talk about.
I gotta quickly eBay mine before people everybody realizes that's coming up.
I think honestly the metal one's going to go up in value because the plastic one will break by looking at it.
Although I think
I would take the breakable one, and just put a rod in her ass.
Because
Wait a second.
it looks like it's the same kind of like
misogyny is enough here.
That's a different. Oh man.
Hashtag triggered.
That's not
But
what
I think it looks like it's the same kind of like setup as the Celestials from the Stormcast of Celestials.
Yeah.
So like they're being held up by the whatever thingies. What are they called? Like
Tiny pieces of plastic.
banners. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see like the guys who make the battle foam were just like sitting there like rubbing their hands in glee, being like, "Yes, yes."
Or they're sitting there going, "How the hell are we going to keep this thing safe in transit?"
This battle foam comes with angel feathers to hold it.
Yeah, this battle foam is actually just a small child that sits in a box and holds it for you
with nice, soft, chubby hands.
So we're going to be right
memory
back.
foam hands.
We're going to kind of recap, I guess, the 40K story so far in broad strokes about where we're kind of sitting at and where we see it going.
Cool. And then we also have some other stuff coming up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
Beast Rises.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So 7 through 9.
Mm-hmm.
I keep interrupting you, Ted.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. We continue our trend of being about a quarter behind. Let everyone catch up.
Book 12 has been out for a month.
Some of us are on book 12 already.
Yeah.
Let's everyone catch up. So, because there's nothing really worse. Because when I talk about books, I really want to kind of talk about everything, and to be like, oh, and then I can't say because it just came out last week. Wow, these ones have been out for like 3 to 6 months. So
you had lots of time for spoilers.
Yeah, so there will be spoilers coming up for that. But yeah, we will be right back.
Bye.
Earl Hagen was a legend. In 1960, he whistled his way into Hollywood and into our hearts. Decades later, he made a comeback, lending those lustrous lips in the 1980s to such bands as the Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, and Pat Benatar. A half-century after his humble beginnings, he's at it again. This time without cumbersome musical accompaniment, he'll have you wetting your whistle and whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling. Order yours today on compact disc or double-length cassette. Also available at fine retailers such as Walgreens, CVS, and participating Sam Goody stores. Earl Whistles Disney. Buy it today.
Should I chance it?
Yeah.
And welcome back!
Welcome.
Hey, John.
40K end times? Click here to find out more.
Oh my gosh. I did not see this happening at all. I remember... What are you doing?
He's trying to make a click noise.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it worked.
But yeah, I remember reading on one of the authors. I can't remember who it was, David Annandale or whatever. I think he was talking about how they were not going to do the end times because I think they were sitting around the table and everybody was asking hey, can I do the end times? And can I do the end times? And they were saying no, there's no such thing. And so
for me, I'm doing the end times.
Yeah. So for the longest time, I just thought it was just going to be that rumor that just lingers forever, but.
Okay, so
yeah,
we're going to click on this.
I wonder if it's
Let's
going to
click.
be end times or if it's just going to be like pushing things forward to the
see, I think it's going to be pushing
All right,
things
John,
forward.
deliver us the message.
So it's going to be pushing things forward. I feel it's not going to be like, here's your 4 pages of rules and everything else is free
they're not just
online.
they're not just gonna blow up Terra.
No, I feel they'll probably go to a general handbook style rule system for 40k though.
So let's-
where you have like a competitive.
Well, let's drop this chronologically. So now, like, where was the first message of this?
So there were little hints of it throughout codexes throughout the years. So the first one was
I denied.
a figure in
Nothing
golden
cared.
armor appears at the Golden Throne, which the chapter master of the Blood Angels Dante thinks is him, or is going to be him. Cypher, Master of the Fallen, which must be some weird random Space Marine.
Yeah, I've never heard of the Fallen. That sounds completely foreign to me.
It's still heading towards the Golden Throne, allegedly to receive the Emperor's forgiveness.
Yeah.
Or to give the Emperor something.
Mm.
In the books
Handy.
that came out last year, with the Mechanica, the Cult Mechanicus, and the Skitari, the Golden Throne is failing, and they cannot fix it anymore. So they reached out to the Dark Eldar for help to fix it. With the Dark Eldar, a little webway portal locked deep in Comora is kind of starting to open when it really shouldn't be. Within Titan with the Grey Knights, something is stirring deep down in there, getting ready to wake up. The Angel of Iandon is trying to awaken the God of the Dead for the Eldar to battle the Chaos. A key is spotted locked away in the vaults of Titan that matches only one socket, and it's only known where Saxkull is in the Golden Throne. And then Be'lakor fucks it up and attacks Imperial Fist Phalanx over Terra. And then tries to make the ship fire its own guns on Terra, but the Imperial Fist bravely run away by translating the ship into warp. And they're still fighting somewhere in the warp, a bunch of demons and Imperial Fist.
Let's be honest, they're probably dead at this
They're
point, 'cause
probably
they're
all
Imperial
dead
Fists.
to a
They're-
man.
To a man, they're all dead.
And then they'll grab some other chapters, and then they'll come together, and then they'll just be Imperial
Hey,
Fists.
look, we found some genetic material in the bathroom. Let's go ahead and clone it and turn it. Oh, that was a giant. Let's call it Imperial Fist.
I think we found a dirty, crusty sock from Dorn.
Spackle.
So that was really all of the plot development, kind of like little dribbles and drabs, kind of like, you still have that 5 minute to midnight feel, where
And the Eldar themselves were having an issue too, weren't they? I think the Eldar were coming on their own end times.
right. So and that was part of the Death Mask box was a very failed attempt, which doomed the race even more than it was already doomed. But it was kind of like very slow trickles, and then it was just kind of hints of progress. So like, if you turn, like, the fluff in the codex would finish, and if you turned one more page, you would find out exactly what happened and how it was resolved, but they always kind of kept it in that space. Yeah. When Curse of the Wolfen released at the start of 2016, they kind of accelerated the plot hugely and very quickly.
Yeah.
You had the Wolfen come back. You had them, quote unquote, accidentally murder a bunch of Dark Angel scouts.
God damn it.
which happened to get back to the Dark Angels, and then of course Dark Angels and Space Wolves being best of chums as it is anyway.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, thank you, /s.
Right. Yeah, /s.
They start to fight, and the Space Wolves are almost seen as traitors at this point. You have a combined Space Marine fleet above them. You have the Grey Knights and the Inquisition coming in to kind of bring them to heel, pun intended.
I see what you did there.
And then you have Nurgle demons show up in one of the planets on Fenris. I think it's Midgardia or something like that, where they almost Nurgle wipes out the world. And then the chapter master of the Space Wolves, or the Great Wolf, or whatever the fuck they're called there, gets trapped underground in a cave while all this shit is happening in Fenris. And then the order comes to start an orbital bombardment of Fenris. So we've had kind of these like dribs and drabs of fluff coming in, or this might happen, this could happen. You move to a book where it finishes with the might of several combined Space Marine legions, chapters, wrong game system, firing on Space Wolves, which is crazy to me. And at the
crazy.
time, I was like, "What the hell?" And the changeling, a little demon, was pretending to be a dark angel.
We knew he was there.
Bridge.
We just
you just let him bomb the shit out of your friends.
I mean,
it's all good.
No, we let him bomb Space Wolves. I mean, whatever.
So yeah, over a dozen Space Marine chapters were part of that assault on Fenris. And to me, that was like, oh shit. I don't have Space Wolves. I don't have Chaos Demons.
Yeah.
I bought the Fenris book.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like, it's other people's issues. Whatever. Enjoy. Win-win.
Are the Iron Hands being involved? No, then we're good.
No Blood Angels, Flesh Tearers, Orcs. That's
Flesh
cool.
Tearers aren't getting Exterminatus? All right, we're fine.
All right.
Like,
Win-win.
Nothing I care about. Sweet.
I wish you all luck in killing each other.
End time, Schmen times. My 2 chapters are good.
So then we have Wrath of Magnus, the book that just came out now.
Yeah.
Everyone, rightly so, is kind of fawning over the Magnus model with the sweet dad bod and nipple horns. It does look amazing.
I have nipple horns.
It's a great. Yeah.
Is it cold in here, or I'm just
They're
happy to see you?
Is it cold in here, or am I just heretical? Come see my single-eyed prince.
Gross.
$1.99 a minute.
But in this book, it's revealed that the changeling was pretending to be like a Vox master, so he was sitting there and be like, "Hey, that Space Wolf said you were a dick." Attention, Ultramarine craft. The Dark Angel said your mom is fat. I'm kind of trying to
It's like middle school.
Yeah.
make that happen. So doing that, he's already had The Rock. Not the great Oscar-deserving actor, but the home of the Dark Angels.
The question is, could we smell what they were cooking up there, though?
Oh yes, it was death. To fire, and I cannot get comfortable here. No,
Sounds like Exterminatus.
to kind of fire on Fenris, so that's already happened. The changeling then changes again into the Grand Master of the Dark Angels, Azrael. And he goes down into the innards of the rock, passes every single security check. Maybe your guys wouldn't fall quite so easy, Phil, if demons couldn't just saunter in. And he lets out all the Fallen that have been captured. So the Fallen are loose, and I'm like, oh shit, like for 20, 25 years of 40k fluff, the Fallen are out there in groups, but they've never been like, yeah, you just gotta let go. They're all together now. It's all good.
We had a pretty big collection too, so we're not
So
very
those are
happy
the
about
original
that.
Dark Angels were let go.
Yeah.
And, it's to wreak havoc on the traders.
It's like, oh, you know what? It's like they sold our comic book or our baseball card collection from underneath us, and they're just like, they're like, how much did you get for it? Mom.
One of my favorite parts about the Curse of Magnus or Wrath of Magnus book, though, is Azrael.
Curse of Magnus.
Curse of Magnus.
There you go.
Azrael. No, he's not Azrael. It's the who's their interrogator?
Asmodai.
Beating the ever-loving shit out of the changeling.
Yeah.
And then actual Azrael coming and beating the ever-loving shit out of the changeling. And he, demon kills, so he just kind of goes back to the warp.
Respawn.
Yes. So at this point, the Dark Angels, the Dark Angels are like, shit, we've been tricked. We shouldn't have really fired on the Space Wolves. But then also the Thousand Suns show up on force.
Yeah.
And start kind of fucking things up. And then what happens here is obviously Demon Primarch shows up, fucks everything up. Long story short, Space Wolves have to use a sacred weapon to go like, oh, we'll use the sacred relic of our chapter or our Wolf Brothers or, our pound. And it goes to attack Magnus, and it really wounds him because it turns out to be a relic of corn.
Ew, seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, shit.
So one of the Space Wolves...
So it's a Sister of Silence and a stick.
Yeah.
I can't feel my toes.
So it does push him out of reality, though. So like, whew, we've managed to vanquish Magnus with this demon weapon. Let's ignore the demon weapon part.
Yeah.
Sadly, unfortunately, an entire planet of sorcerers retranslates into real space from the warp.
into Midgardia, right? Isn't that where?
I believe so. Yeah. So like, there's this huge Prospero Reborn about the Planet of Sorcerers. The Inquisition is like, hey, bros. So all those folks on Fenris who saw demons, could you kill them now, please? Because that's bad. So the Space Wolves is a chapter who can only really recruit from Fenris, and because of Magnus in the first place, now have their pool severely limited.
Wow, this is the neutering of the Space Wolves.
Because they basically have to like almost exterminate the planet, right? Isn't that like the
yeah, pretty much. It's anyone who had seen Magnus and anyone who knew there was a demon Primarch back. Because the Imperium right now is just on damage control. Because like, hey, did you know there's a demon Primarch? And like, nope. No, there is not.
I'm sorry. Can you lean a little closer?
Can you look into this pistol, please?
Yeah. All the answers are on the inside of this bolt gun.
It's a microphone.
Yeah.
Microphone.
Look inside. It's an eyepiece. It's VR. It's the Samsung Gear. Try it. Put it on your eyes.
Yes. And then it ends with Space Wolves and Dark Angels heading towards Cadia.
Boom.
The
gate for the 13th Black Crusade. So that was my overly long kind of summary of our 5 minutes midnight kind of ticking up.
I like it.
And like I said, in this last year, with these 2 releases alone, it has ramped up so much. Like we could look at the Blood Angel stuff from last year and the Tyranid and the Necron things. That kind of advanced the story a little bit, but at the same time, it was just kind of, Necrons and Blood Angels working together, holding hands. But
again.
That's nothing new. Tyrants being stopped at great cost. That's nothing new. Space Wolves essentially being slaughtered almost, having their balls chopped off, and finding it very hard to get recruits. And the Fallen escaping is huge.
And Demon Primarchs coming in.
And Demon Primarchs coming back.
I think this is kind of neat, just like the Fallen having a part of the story beyond just being like a MacGuffin device. Like, that's rad. I mean, now all of a sudden we could start seeing the Fallen.
I hope so. It would be cool.
Like a little
as an army or something.
Well, even then, they've been broken and tortured and interrogated for years in the dark, so who already knows what they look like anymore? Maybe that's where they get Chaos Cultists from, is when they're mentally broken.
Maybe. Except they're Chaos Cultists with, like, super strength. They're still
2 hard
Space Marines.
Black carapace. I think it's spit acid.
Yeah. I guess, where did they go? We know they're going to Cadia. We know the next release is the fall of Cadia. And the 13th Black Crusade's coming, and all of the Demon Primarchs are coming to town.
So this is neat, because, I mean, what was it, like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, we had somewhat similar event. We had the Wolfen show up, like they came out of the warp.
It was the original 13th Black Crusade, right?
Yeah. So and that was that was just called the Black Crusade.
Yeah.
And then now this is like kind of the same thing times 10. Yeah. Now we have like Magnus the Red showing up as well. Like, all right, that didn't work last time, let's do it again.
Yeah.
And they came out of the gate, right? But
what's nice about this one is it's not decided by the players.
Yeah. Yeah, because that kind of backfired.
I love you guys, players. You're amazing, but it was such an overwhelming chaos victory that there was no way to work it in. And then, I mean, all that happened was the Eldar faction won a bunch of battles, so the only way to really fix that was to kill one of their main characters. It was just, you could see back then when the original 13th Black Crusade came, and there was this kind of goodwill of, okay, you guys are going to decide what happens with the story. And, we're going to move this forward. We're going to keep going. And they're like, oh, sweet, let's do it. Oh, no. Oh, we did not plan for that to happen whatsoever. We have no contingency for Cadia following this soon. Yeah. So
now they're getting ready for it.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't think the title of the book is a lie, the next one. I really think Cadia does fall, and is utterly destroyed. I don't know what that means for the Dark Angels and the Space Wolves, because they're en masse going there to kind of bolster the defenses. Yeah. But, like I said, it's...
Yeah. Should be interesting. They also showed some art, because I don't know if you guys saw the stream that they did on Warhammer TV, because after those... the blurry, crappy images of Saint Celestine and the new Mago, Archmagos and the Inquisitor. Yeah, they're all character Magos, and all these different models that got quasi released because someone came early and they took a crappy cell phone picture and uploaded it. So now the new responsive Games Workshop actually stepped in and was like, all right, we're gonna broadcast on our new Twitch TV channel, and talk all about it and show you actual good images of what these new models are going to be and talk a little bit about what's going on. They also released a picture of an image which showed an Inquisitor with a whole bunch of Black Templars kind of like marching off to war, and in the back there's a picture of like a Dark Eldar like figure, like a Dark Eldar guy like walking along with them.
I missed that.
So that should be interesting to see, because like when you're talking about them like talking to the Dark Eldar to try to fix what's going on, and they talked about with the throne, they talk about this Arc Magos, the character, is supposed to have been gone. He's from 10,000 years old, and he's been off on this mission, and I would imagine
so he's the one with the key that unlocks the throne.
And they actually showed the key, because that was one of the like one of the things that they
teaser
like the teasers that they had with the key. So that might be the key that they're talking about.
How do we open the battery compartment on this walkie-talkie?
Yeah, it's like, who gave him the key and then let him walk away for 10,000 years? Who does that?
So I think out of everything we've seen, is that like a Dark Eldar, or is that kind of Deathwatch style using Xenos tech, or kind of, that's the problem with mass people. But out of everything that was being leaked, I want to know about this insane Magos who has been wandering around for 10,000 years, not telling anyone what he's doing.
Just doing his thing.
Just doing his thing. He's like, hey man, I have stuff to do. I will get to you when I can.
Yeah.
But right here, I am 2 years into a 10,000-year mission.
Yeah.
So please do not interrupt me.
I'll look at the time. I've got 0 fucks to give
I love
now.
that
So.
you have this model, and he's running around with the key to the throne, and you're going to be using him in a battle. So he's walking around the battlefield with the key in his little bibbly hand, like, hey, what's up?
And he's
this is one of the most important devices on the galaxy.
And he's just going to get de-blasted off the table like first turn.
That could just be the key to his Prius.
Right. So it's the key to the key. To the key.
The key. Exactly. Key. Oh, terrible transports. We'll talk about that when we get to Keys to Rises.
Ew.
But yeah, so Phil, where do you see going? And I know I pulled that Ted.
That's cool. I said that's cool. Like I was actually going to be there. Sorry,
don't
Ted.
Dog.
Don't worry. Ted has no problem with it. It just drives me as fun. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's I want to see the storyline push forward and see things kind of come to a head, but I don't want to see it like completely, totally ended. You know what I mean? And I don't think they want to see that happen either, because right now you see kind of a resurgence with 40K, and I don't think they want to F with that. Like they blew up the fantasy world.
It's a resurgence with 40K?
I think so. It seems to me.
More and more players this year.
Yeah.
Really? It's locally or just like in general?
Both. I think so. Yeah, I've seen. I feel like there's a resurgence. I feel like there's a new interest in a lot of the new things, because I think you also see, especially when they've been doing like these get started kits, and with Kill Team, they're making the entry into the game far easier. And I think people are like, I see a number of times you see people out there is like, I've been following the fluff and just kind of painting models for years, and I've just figured I might just get back into it, like seeing everything that's going on, because it's something interesting. Because for many years in multiple editions, like things didn't change. It was kind of like status quo.
Armchair quarterback or Sunday commentary. Like I'm seeing this as like the opportunity for them to just like change everything. Like, I mean, you have like the story that's going to change everything. They're on the verge of 8th edition, which can potentially be the 3rd edition. Like where they just like all get rid of all those stats that are obnoxious.
A new edition of 40K next year.
Yeah, so like
it's called Rogue Trader.
And I heard
all the editions like are there's been rumor that they're going to change it up like big time, like not quite Age of Sigmar change up, but like a big change up there. So I mean they have this like opportunity to like completely re-envision 40K as we know it. Yeah. But then on the other hand, if we're bringing in new people, like hey, welcome to this thing. Go ahead and ignore all that. No, we have this newer thing,
and that's why part of me feels like they're not going to completely just obliterate it like they did. They're not going to Age of Sigmar it, because I feel like they did it to fantasy when fantasy was
dead,
like dying. It was just like pretty much dead. Like people had their armies, they weren't buying new models. There wasn't a whole bunch of push for it. You saw 40K had eclipsed it like by far, and they were left with a situation where it's like we can either just keep beating this dead horse, or we can get rid of the corpse and buy a new horse and see what happens. And I think it pissed off a lot of people who really liked beating that dead horse. Yeah. But I think they were in a situation where it's like, even if no one decides to go to Age of Sigmar, we're not that far much worse off than where we were by keeping fantasy going. But I feel like if they tried it with 40K and it didn't work, they'd be in a real
I mean, that's like over half their money comes from 40K.
Exactly. So I
would
see
love
them being
to.
quite as.
I know I've seen other people say this, and like I'm starting to feel it too. It's just that like it seems like 40K needs a refresher. Like I could really use like something to jumble it up and like make it anew. But I don't know.
So my prediction on it turns out Emperor's been dead for a long time.
Oh,
because
look at this guy.
If you look at the Master of Mankind Horus Heresy book, when the Emperor gets off the Golden Throne to go fight on the Webway, they plug 1,000 Psychers into the Golden Throne to keep it chugging while he's there fighting.
So they really don't need it.
So currently they're putting 1,000 souls a day
Every
into the
day.
Golden Throne. I think that's what's powering the Astronomicon, and the corpse of the Emperor is just a figurehead to be there.
So you think it's just like empty?
I
suit
think
of
it's
armor.
still kind of keeping him semi-alive, because I do believe in the whole perpetual thing. But I do believe he will fully be turned off or die or not work, or something will be revealed that the Imperium's been hiding that's super dirty.
But this is going back like almost a year. Like I think we did a review of the Emperor and like what the Emperor was, and like that was like one of the things that they were talking about is like when the Emperor dies, there'll be the Star Child. Like eventually he'll be reborn as like this is a new deity kind of thing. And I mean, maybe that's really it. Is like you keep it alive long enough. Like, all right, we got to just keep him entombed. And I mean, I could almost see it as like this is going out there and like pulling shit out of my ass. But like, maybe it's like the High Lords like holding on to this. Like, well, we don't want him to come back because if he has a say, if he uses his voice, he's going to realize that we fucked the pooch. And like, it's not going to be good. And like,
a little bit of a precursor. They kind of talk about that even in the Beast Arises stuff, where everyone keeps saying that it's like, you effed up. Like, you made this... The Imperium is not what it should be. It's not what it was. Like, you done did wrong.
Now,
like,
all of a sudden, you pull the plug on the Emperor. The Emperor,
comes
like,
back
finally is able to come back. Yeah, like,
WTF.
Me.
Yeah, WTF. I'm now the Emperor, and I'm going to kick you in the shins.
I see...
But this is going to be tragic, because on the other hand, like, what's one of the first armies to go is going to be the Sisters of Battle. And they're bringing the Sisters of Battle back. So, like, all the...
Well, it's a big fuck you.
Ecclesiarch.
A new model line just as they squat the army.
Yeah.
But no, I see Comorra falling. The Dark Eldar city will fall. I see that kind of going.
They have... I saw a it looks like it was taken in a moving car as it just, like, passed by. But the Gangs of Comorra...
Yeah.
It looks like that's like a new board game or something coming out,
cool.
which would be kind of cool. I was wondering if it might be something like a Necromunda thing set in Comorra, which would be kind of cool. Because there's all those, they take all the different slaves, so they could have all the different races forming different gangs.
So that'd be like, cool. Was that Gore or something or other?
The Gore Chosen. Yeah, something like that maybe. Oh, that'd be kind of cool, yeah. Ooh, actually, that would be cool.
So, big changes coming to 40K, no matter how you look at it. Let us know what you think is going to happen, realistically or funny. Honestly, I'm easy either way.
The Caro take over. And the Slan come back.
Yeah, the Slan. The Slan come back. Who is
what are you guys doing?
We're a part of 40K.
Yeah, literally everyone dies except for the squats.
No,
we're regurgitated.
No 40K1 spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back, and we're going to do our third quarter Beast Arises, since Phil so beautifully segued into it before I ruined it.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Robo Girly Man here, calling in from Stasis. Do you have a problem procreating for the Emperor? As an Astartes who's been chemically neutered, I understand. A lot of people across the Imperium are suffering from the same disorder. I'm here to tell you that the Emperor has a better solution than snorting ground-up Turvagon shell. What we have devised is an easy two-step solution. Every morning, wake up, look in the mirror, and say, "Fuck you, Chaos." It's their fault anyway. Then look down at your jabang bangs and say, "For the Emperor." In those two easy steps, you too will be able to blame Chaos for your impotence. If only the Space Marines could do the same. Thanks, Dad. Now get out there and procreate for the Emperor. But remember, if it comes out funny, exterminatus that mutie. This has been Robo Girly Man. Whatever the Emperor's will is, be sure it will find you out.
Oh man, we technically ate so much pizza in that 30 seconds or whatever.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Sam's Club, please sponsor us.
Or any other pizza store that wants to sponsor us.
Well, fuck Sam's Club if you want to pay us some pizza.
Yeah, but if Santa Claus wants to, we're not going to say
pizza?
that. Yeah.
Anybody at Sicily's Pizza?
Oh
Maybe?
no, that's the worst.
Oh no, man, they're Buffalo.
It's like being sponsored by Hitler. with your Jewish podcast.
Wow, that's not true at all.
What? Where did you get that?
I don't know. Yeah, back to drinking my coffee.
I kind of felt bad because, like, I think on our YouTube, like, I don't really watch any YouTube, except like with our mob rules thing. But like, I think like I uploaded a video and I was like, oh, you know, like the random videos, and I think there was like Hitler and the occult. Like, okay, I'll watch that. And then there was another one that was like Hitler and the occult. Oh, I want to find out like what has he been up to.
Oh, you went down the YouTube hole.
And then I went through that, and like that's like all I watched. And then Jackson, I think, like watched a Minecraft video on that, and I was like, oh man, when John logs on here, he's gonna think that I'm like watching all these like.
No, it's alright. I've already hit in our history. That was step one, in case I forgot to switch over. Yeah, I watch a lot of gameplay videos.
Okay,
and
I do too.
Stupendous Wave. Shout out to Stupendous Wave. He is a guy who explains Star Wars things.
Nice.
Like, how did Palpatine rise to power, or what happened to Darth Plagueis? It's just nice little 5-minute chats he has. He speaks a little quick, but it's still pretty good.
That's neat.
I like the Funhouse guys. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
It's my favorite gameplay. Anyway,
I also really like Mob Rules and Glacial Geek.
Yeah, me too. Those are the best two. Those are the best two.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the best two.
Do you like awkward gameplay videos?
Check out Mob Rules YouTube. Mob Rules.
There might even be nice Saturday Night Live reference. You got that there. There might even be poorly plagiarized poetry.
That was good, man. That was hilarious. Hello, I was trying to say hello, hilarious.
I had a lot of fun doing
hilarious.
that. I also kind of rewrote it 4 or 5 times as well. So,
nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Gotta refine that shit.
God, look at this tryhard over here.
Also, while we're on the subject of that, our good friend Peter with NGC 40K
the
has
Frozen.
released his Frozen Heresy, which is a 30K version of Frozen. Which is fantastic. So you should definitely not stop listening now, because that would be rude.
Yeah, wait till this is
Wait
over.
till it's
Stop,
over.
stop. Don't
We already got
minimize
credit
it.
for it. We
Don't
already got
minimize.
credit for it.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
they
if
did
they come
download
back, then they ding us the second time.
Well,
and then we get more credit
wait,
for it.
hold up, Ted. They're going to wait for this to be over, and then they're going to need more. So they're going to go to Mob Rules YouTube page, and then after that, they're going to need more. So they're going to go to the Glacial Geeks YouTube channel, and then they can listen to.
I feel like
Frozen
such
Heresy.
I like John's plan. I like John's plan.
It's pretty good.
Oh, man, I feel like spiky bits all over.
No, because I'm not telling them it's going to be good. We just said how shitty my
You just
gameplay
did.
videos are gonna be.
It just did.
No,
You
no,
ended it with it's going to be good.
No, it's going to be good for us, not for
us.
them. Yeah,
For them, it's awful. For
them,
us, it's good.
For them, it's going to be
Oh shit! I guess that is no. I don't need to be blocked by spiky bits as well. Bowls is
God.
enough. Bowls is enough.
That's true.
I quit.
Beast Arises.
Hey,
All right.
back to content.
Real content.
Yeah.
Real content.
So we
Free
did
content, people, for you.
7 through 9. We did books 7 through 9 finally.
So we did the Hunt for Vulcan, which is book 7. The Beast
That's a really
Must
good
Die.
one.
I have
Also
to say,
really
like,
good
okay,
one.
we had the title for Hunt for Vulcan. Like, it was already, like, it was in the title.
Yeah.
Like, that they were going to be looking for him. But I didn't believe it, honestly. Like, it was crazy to, like, reading through that one. Like, wow, we actually see Vulcan. And I've been doing a lot of, playing a lot of Horus Heresy lately, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But so I had to remind myself that this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I was reminded that this is a big fucking deal.
It's a really big deal.
You've seen the damage that Vulcan can do on the tabletop.
He would, well, yeah, if only he could do that damage. I mean, he was owning orcs, like millions of points worth of orcs. You know? Like, he was taking out, you know, like battle wagons left and right, just like slinging his hammer, and just effing things up. Like, he was beyond his model.
Was
there's
awesome.
no way that they could own that. I mean,
I loved the
cray.
scene when they were like, they were on, what was the name of the planet that they had gone to? I can't remember. Whatever.
Fuck this.
Yeah, there we go. That one. And they were on the planet, and they were talking about the guy, like those guys on the wall, just being like, "Well, this is going to suck. These guys are going to, you know, they're going to come and they're going to kill us, and we're all going to die." And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Wait, is that like one space marine out there?" And he's like, "Check this out!" And just like, you know, he's like, "Hold my beer," and then just goes and like beats the shit out of like an entire wah of orcs as they're coming down.
and like moths to a flame.
Yeah.
Like the orcs just couldn't stop.
They couldn't
trying to
stop
kill him.
going after him.
To battle.
Yeah. And he was like a battle in just like one person. Then he's like, "Peace, guys, I'm out," and then like takes off, and they're like, "What just happened?"
And this guy battles them for months.
Yeah,
like
for
just
months by
not-
himself.
And I think I get the impression that he dies and comes back, because it seems like he stops, and they kind of like waited for him to reappear, and then he's like, boom, there he is again, and the orcs are like searching for him. Then all of a sudden, bam, he's back.
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
It was
So
impressive.
that-
Which if you think about it.
Yeah.
What? I guess a spoiler. I was going to say, was it the 8th book when he I'm forgetting when he gets myrtleated.
8th book he dies.
Yeah, when he gets myrtleated.
By the way, spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alerts. So he gets myrtleated by the beast, right?
Yeah. A beast.
Well, yeah. So he gets myrtleated by a beast, and my thought is maybe he's not actually dead. Because along the same way, like where you said, where he's he dies and comes back, dies and comes back.
Why would he die because of one guy versus a million? The more people that kill you, the higher the possibility that you come back. Versus I was only killed by one person. I can't come back from this.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say it's like the old movie where they all pile on and then boom, he blows it back out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes of the whole series was that scene when he was just where they're on the wall and they're like, oh my god, we're getting destroyed by orcs, and then he's like, boom.
So Corlin runs over. He gets in his thunder pigeon.
Yeah, his thunder pigeon
flies down. They decide all right, well, we have to find him to lead us into battle.
Yeah.
Because everybody will listen to the only Primarch, and we hear he's out there. Yeah. So they go.
I keep trying to talk to the Lords of Terror, and they're like, shut up, dumb space marine. You're an idiot. We don't like you.
Are you trying to take over?
Are you trying to take over? You're nothing but a stupid sergeant. We're not even going to call you chapter master. So
Corlin walks into the room and is like, are you trying to do is this a coup? What are you trying to do? I'm literally sitting down.
I'm just sitting there. It's you're cooing. It's stop cooing me. You're cooing me, bro.
I'm eating tacos. Yeah, what are you talking about? This is a taco. This is not a coup.
Hashtag cooed. And it's okay.
You just cooed that taco.
Yeah, you just cooed that taco. It's I don't know what you're talking about. But
is there a head on this taco?
Yeah, it's
how do you coo a taco?
I'm literally just sitting here trying to kill some orcs. I don't know what you want out of me.
Kill this taco.
And they're like, you're trying to get me unelected. And it's you're not. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just
high lords
trying to be a freaking space marine.
I just got Game Informer. I'm reading it. This has nothing to do with you guys.
The new White Dwarf's ad. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So they get there. They start flying around looking for him, and of course they find the way they describe it. It almost seems like it's a weather anomaly happening, this swirling going on of orcs and
just
this weather mass
flowing into
over
this
Greenland and Iceland.
I like that they track Vulcan's position on the planet based on where the most orcs are.
Yeah, exactly. So then they find the Eye of the Storm, and there he is. Oh man, the way he just battle wagons flying at him, and he just stops him with his hammer, with was a doom tremor.
Yep.
And just going to town on him.
Glorious.
And the Space Marines want to join in there. They're just go and drop us in there amongst the death. Just go ahead and land us close to there.
I have to say, it does its job in the fact that this book really made me want to buy a Vulcan.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, man, I could just do a centerpiece in the center of a diorama and just surround him with orcs. And it would look just badass.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It was super cool. So
it was nuts to think. Every time he hit the ground, it was just tremor. It just destroyed everything. And why didn't he just do that a whole bunch? Why even hit an orc in the face? Just boom, 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 boom. Okay, everything's dead.
Strain injury. His wrists. Just
I guess. Carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
I might be immortal, but I have tendons.
Exactly.
The ale.
I am immortal. My tendons are not.
Yeah. The Achilles tendon on Primarchs is actually in their wrist. Little known fact.
These guys covered in scars, and I didn't think about that. As an immortal, his flesh isn't so much immortal. It carries all the history of battle. So and I think they talked about that. It's just he's a patchwork of scars.
Yeah.
Which makes you think if the Emperor does come back as kind of a perpetual, is he just going to be
missing an eye,
looking like the guy, the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt?
I often think about that. If there are such thing as ghosts, when I die, do I really want to be dead, at an old age, and come back as this old man, or should I just off myself now while I'm still beautiful?
Okay, Kurt Cobain, let's calm down here, okay?
Also, I think you missed that ship.
Or maybe I'll lose some weight first. And then
by the time this releases, you only have 1 day left of 2016.
I don't think I'm Betty White caliber.
I will say, so book 7 starts really with the Mechanicum, or the Mechanicus. I'm sorry, wrong game again. That's the second time.
Right.
The Mechanicus being like, yeah, so we know exactly where the orcs are. Also, we've been stealing their technology and trying to fix it. Also, it's Eleanor and this kind of like...
Well, no, they knew it, but they didn't want to let anyone know. And
Right,
that's
right.
when
Yeah, so they're holding back.
Right. They did. That's what I'm saying. So the Mechanicus kind of comes to the High Lords and to
Yeah.
Corlin like a scolded child to be like, yeah, we knew this all along, but data? We didn't have enough data off of that yet, and we knew that if you knew, then we couldn't get data.
Yeah.
And this took like almost an invasion of Mars to get, right?
Yeah.
essentially
So
an invasion of Mars.
It
Because
took was it Thane or Bahamon or whatever his
I
name
think
was?
it's Thane.
Thane, yeah, like him and like many Thunderhawks full of dudes, and tanks, and,
Yeah.
Vindicators,
It'd be like,
whirlwinds,
you gonna tell us what the fuck happens now?
yeah.
and a huge battle amongst the Skitarii and Mechanicus.
Yeah, because they went to go get Laurentis because Laurentis was like, "Oh shit, it's in Ulanor," and then he's like sends out but they capture him as he's like screaming out like at the broadcast, "It's Ulanor!" And then Corlin's like, "We need him to tell us what's going on with this," and then the
Who
people,
him? You don't need him.
yeah, the Mechanicus are like,
We heard you like tacos.
Yeah, we're turning him into a toaster oven.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind,
A
just
serve-a
piss
toaster.
off. Yeah. So that's when Corlin was like,
It imprints cogs on your toast.
yeah. That's when Corlin was like, wait a minute. We're Space Marines. We could just go and take what we want. So then they send like that like basically an invasion force up there
But that almost ended really poorly.
for
Yeah.
everybody.
So while and Corlin wanted to he heard from the Inquisition that Vulcan was alive and kind of whereabouts he could be.
Yeah.
And he wanted that figurehead to kind of unite the Space Marines, the Imperial Guard, the Navy, and get everyone
Yeah.
together. They go down to the planet's surface and they find Vulcan and they have these just so many cool battles. Mainly because Vulcan's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not leaving this planet.
Yeah, they're like, you need to come with us. He's like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool here. Thanks.
Well, I think he had a debt, right? Like, so he had swore that he would protect the planet, and like, so long as there were people there, so long as there were orcs there, and there was conflict,
people. No.
yeah. Like, well, if we just get rid of those pesky humans,
Corlin's like, wait a minute. I see where this is going.
that sounds like Borimon or whatever his name was first. Yeah,
Bowman.
If I could just do my best. So, how did he get on the planet? And how was he planning on getting off? Because there was no spaceship.
Oh, it's actually very simple. Shut the fuck up. You just deal with it.
Yeah, nerd. Get out of here.
Goddamn nerd.
Yeah.
Well, he was
did
with
you
the
get in
orcs
here?
when they crash landed onto Angelus.
He was literally riding on the back of an orc, hitting him with a hammer through the atmosphere. So they finally convince him to come, and like the whole time, the Vulcan is a character in this series. You get the impression where he's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
I really have better things to do. I had like a head shining appointment coming up. I had to have my hammer waxed. But they all
I'd
go...
literally rather be anywhere else but wherever you're taking me.
They all go en masse to Ulanor, but not before they stop by Terra, so Vulcan can have the best single conversation with the High Lords.
Yes.
Of any conversation up to this point in the book. I mean, we've seen Corlin talk down to them. We've seen other Marines talk down to them. We've seen Van Gorge talk down to the High Lords.
Although he has to be sneaky about it and like be passive aggressive stabs.
Yeah. And so we've seen all this. And it takes Vulcan to be like, you guys should be thankful that there's orcs just now, because if there wasn't, I would murder each and every single one of you for what you have done to the Imperium. This is not how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If the Emperor comes back, he's going to be like, no, not a religion. Guys, no. I punish word bearers for this.
Yeah. And
He's like Buddha.
Yeah. And that's what you actually see that. I think where you see it building up there with the that coming through with the Black Templars, with their worshiping of the Emperor as a god figure, and also the other Space Marines are like, dude, he's not a god. He told us he's not a god. He's not a god. And then the Black Templars are like, yeah, no,
And that's the thing I really enjoyed actually in this series, and it's kind of how I want to see modern 40K Space Marines is knowing that the Emperor is not a god but still serving him as such. Like, to me, the whole God Emperor conversation should be your guardsmen and people who need that faith to kind of keep going. Your Marines should be like, yeah, I know my dad fought with him. He's just regular guy, super good guy, but it's just regular.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of see that the chastening a bit of Bowman when Vulcan comes back, because Vulcan's like, he's not a god. I don't know what you're doing. This is blasphemy. You shouldn't be doing this. And then Bowman's sitting on the side going like, oh,
yeah,
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because he is a god, and
Not
I'm not going to
listening
disagree
right
with you,
now.
Vulcan. But la 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 la, he's totally a god, and I'm not going to listen to you. But you are Vulcan, so I can't really say anything. But
You'll smash my head.
Yeah, you'll smash my head. And everyone like keeps looking at Bowman too. Like every time he says, he's like, when he's like, the Emperor's not a god, everyone like looks at Bowman and he's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna keep quiet because you are a Primarch and you just killed me really quick. So
I will pretend
it was kind of
your
interesting.
fingers are crossed behind your back. Sir.
exactly.
And it's about this point we move on to book 8, which is the Beast Must Die by Gab Thor. I love my little autograph copy that with
nice.
glitter.
You got glitter bombed?
Yeah, I got sent I won his Twitter competition, so I got sent a copy of the book that was signed. I started to wow in his heart.
Nice. Maybe that's why you got banned by Bulls. Maybe they wanted
they
wanted that copy.
I'm kind of an asshole. But this book was I know we've read Space Marine battle books here before for the show, but the most Space Marine battle book that ever
of the whole
Space
series.
Marine battle.
It was like it was almost like the Proletarian Uprising or whatever again, but with superhumans.
More. Yeah.
This was like hardcore bolter
everybody
porn.
took part in this, not just like the peons.
And I felt like Gaffler was like, okay, so we have this really nice character moment. Nope, shooting, shooting only.
Oh,
yeah.
So they finally get out there. They merge everybody together, and it seems like there's kind of like some fuck ups, like in
so many fuck ups.
We didn't have the Navy quite the way it should have been arranged. Like they show up, and I think they're really tactical about it. They're like, all right, we're just going to hover all our barges over this planet, pay no mind orcs, and then we're going to go and run some scans, and okay, we're starting to fight. All right, and then we have the Black Templars. Wasn't
and
it?
it was
No,
the Black Templars that caused it.
Yeah, they were like,
we'll
fuck
throw
it,
them.
let's do it.
We'll be first to the fight.
Leroy Jenkins! As they just go shooting down to the surface.
Yeah.
And then Corlin's like, what the fuck? Why is he going? All right, everyone else go too. He's going. Go.
We don't have a choice now.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
I remember, like, every time like there's a problem, like he runs to Vulcan, like, oh, what do I do? And Vulcan, I think, is like he takes on like the best like dad role in this whole thing. He's like, well, I could tell you, but I'm not going to. So, how do you feel? What are your thoughts? What is your inner Vulcan saying right now?
Like the whole time,
Okay,
Vulcan's
all right, cool.
kind of lying on a couch. Or
That's
a
dumb,
bed,
by the way.
kind of just peeling an apple slowly. I don't know. What the fuck you want to do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not good enough to lead. It's like, I said you were. You questioning me, boy? Yeah. And I love the fact that Corland at this point is returned to his wall name of Slaughter, and he's calling himself Slaughter. And Vulcan's just like, so, Chapter Master Corland.
Yeah.
What do you think? Oh, I am Slaughter. It's Slaughter. Okay, so and then when should we start this attack? Chapter Master Corland.
Yeah.
I am Slaughter. Please call me Slaughter.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of gives up halfway through. But kind of that's the role Vulcan's in the whole time. Like I said, this whole gives two shits about it.
Yeah.
They specifically mention like a contingent of salamanders that are part of this force attacking Ulnar are like, hey, can we see Vulcan now, please? We would really like to see Vulcan now. And Vulcan's like, I'm not going to treat them any different. They won't be focused if they see me first.
He's like, no, fuck that.
I thought that was really good. I think that was like a really great moment where it kind of showed like the wisdom. Because I mean, really, all of a sudden this guy shows up and they're like, all right, well, I'm done. I'm good.
Oh my God.
I just saw Vulcan.
Oh my God,
fuck the
Vulcan.
orcs. Yeah.
It's
like
Vulcan. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We've literally been looking for him this whole time.
yeah. Like they have to keep him like outside of arm's reach, in order to keep them motivated.
It's like they unpurposely land the salamanders contingent on the southern ice cap. And be like, capture that rock. Good job.
Yeah, hold that iceberg.
I don't like cold weather.
Yeah, hold that iceberg.
Like I said, I did kind of say that this is like kind of bolter porn on steroids, but I did really enjoy the book.
Yeah.
Looking at this as kind of a 12-part story. I know I think on its own, the action is kind of like money shot.
Yeah.
There's no time to recover. But within the confines of the series, you really are allowed to do that and kind of focus on that thing.
Which was awesome.
One of my favorite sequences from this book is the return of Beast Cruel.
Oh, yes.
And his infiltration.
That was fun. I loved because he sneaks aboard the ship. he ends up taking it's like a thunderbolt, and just like veers off, and everybody's like, "Hey, where'd the new guy go?"
Yeah,
like,
where's he going? Hey, buddy, you're supposed to be. We're gonna shoot you now.
Can we shoot him? He's running away. Can we shoot him? He's doing something stupid.
And they're like, no, save it. We got the beast. And I was like, all right.
So then he shows up, and his whole thing is he has to kill the beast, and he gets close.
Yeah, and then he walks into a room full of like things that look as big as he thought the beast was, except there's like 1,000 of them in this like whole auditorium of beasts, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. All right, you guys.
But you guys
do your thing.
Didn't they say it took like a week or like it was like weeks for him like infiltrating? Like he's famished. He hasn't slept in weeks. He hasn't eaten. He hasn't done any of this. Like his cuts have cuts. Like he's just fucked up.
Yeah,
he comes back.
He's like climbing walls and he's just owning people. And I think one of the big takeaways from the series is just how much of a badass Beast Cruel is.
Oh man. Yeah.
And like his like kind of his cold, cunning nature is a really, I think, kind of a new classic character. For
sure.
For the Warhammer universe.
I just I love I look at this guy and I'm looking at all those things that he's doing, like how cold and cunning he is, and like just how much of a BA he is. And then I'm reminded of like his introduction as the security guard,
for, like monitoring security cameras. Yeah,
right. He went from that his squished little lifestyle of sitting in an easy chair watching a bunch of monitors at Walmart. And he's pulled into this.
Well, because he was Beast Cruel, and then he was like, all right, I'm retiring to go watch monitors at the local mall. And then he gets like a phone call where it's like, you're out of retirement. He's like, but I
gotta go save the Imperium.
He has his job here, and then kind of Van Gorge comes along, and he tells Van Gorge that his wife and child had gone, and she died and whatever. But then Van Gorge sees his wife and kills his wife in front of his daughter, and then his daughter hides in a hole in the ground, and then kind of gets rescued by the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
that took far too long to hit. But
I was sitting, I'm like, when did I miss this scene?
Yeah, I know.
I missed this scene.
Oh, you thought spoilers were just for the book? Yeah. No, bitch. Rogue One spoilers.
Oh, man. That's cruel.
That's Beast Cruel.
That's Beast Cruel. Yeah, but
so he's
Ted, please add a cymbal crash to that.
Ka-ching.
But
there you go. So we're.
Oh, you go.
Yeah, so kind of moving.
So he gets in.
Assuming.
He withdraws at some point. I mean, this takes like the course of most of the book, but everybody else is pushing in, and I think it's kind of neat where you have like all the chapter masters kind of converge together to create like this amazing coterie of badassness. As they almost single-handedly. I mean, there's like 4 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
But they end up like taking like city blocks and.
However, they did decide to land on the top of a missile silo.
But it was like that was the coolest thing too, where they like land on this planet. They're like, all right, well, this is the planet. We're pretty sure what this is.
We're going to land here because these big flat areas, nothing's built on there.
No, the whole landscape starts transforming.
The whole planet, and that's what I think it's cool. It's like
Unicron.
It's like they've turned. I was going to say they've turned Ulanor into like another attack moon. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. An attack moon.
It's an attack planet.
Yeah, it's like an entire. Yeah, that's no moon. That's a planet. So they made like this entire attack planet where all of a sudden like the ground itself is opening up to create like giant ass guns that are going to be shooting all the planes in the sky, but everyone else just falls into them.
Wasn't it like? I mean, it was the transforming of the planet. I think that alone killed off almost a quarter. Was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
of most of the guard, the Marines, like the Mechanicum, like whoever landed. I think the guard were among the
and the Blood Angels were the ones that were going in and trying to like save some people.
And I love some of the scenes, like the rescue missions, where you had like these Valkyries and Storm Eagles, like trying to like load people onto the wings, even like people just holding onto these as they try to pull them out of the crevices in the ground, and like just trying to. I mean,
and they had like
it was like that rare instance where the Imperium gave a shit about their people.
Yeah.
Like any other book, it would been like, yep, well, we just lost about a quarter of them.
Or they were like, or there was that one scene when they were when there was like the head of the Astra Militarum was in like his giant land like Leviathan tank thing. It was like giant, and it's going along, and all of a sudden it's like it's getting sucked into like falling into one of these crevices, and everyone in there is like, we need to evacuate you now. And he's like, I'm not leaving without you. And they're like, yeah, fuck you, you're going, and we're gonna stay here. And he was like, but and they're like, no, we're gonna put you onto a helicopter and fly away. And they like manhandled him like onto this helicopter and like flew him away as everyone else just died with the thing. And I was just like, holy shit, that's like some dedication right there. Because I'd be like, I'm coming too. Save some room for me.
You need somebody to rub your corns.
Yeah, exactly.
It was specifically mentioned kind of up until this point. They had very little orc resistance.
Yeah.
There's nothing really in orbit. The orcs they were encountering were kind of like the weaker ones.
Yeah.
And then this happens, and then shit really hits the fan.
Yeah.
Guns and missiles come out of the planet and start firing on the fleet in space.
Just obliterating it.
Yeah.
Like they're talking, like they're at some point they're talking about, they're like, if we even survive this, like, is there going to be a ship to take us home? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah,
a lot of them
we'll
just
see.
kind of assumed that was going to be it.
Yeah.
But also, like, as they started to get closer to the city, you know, like as the infiltration began, I think you had some people that were scouting ahead, and it was neat to see like orc culture like firsthand.
Oh yeah,
like and not only
that was from Beast Cruel, I think,
and it was that's okay.
Yeah,
but it was neat to see like you know like on the outskirts like like the redneck versions that were like the orcs that we can kind of envision. Ogre smash, and then like as you got closer, you started to see like a more sophisticated orcs. You had delivery drivers, you had merchants, you had
orc preachers
on the side of the road,
so
like
cool.
and you know having money thrown at them, and
they were
musicians.
listening.
Like it was like Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're keeping it weird, but you know, it was
I'm
actually
sure they
a
smelled
place.
just as good.
Yeah,
but yeah, like the closer you got, and I think like the architecture started to change too, from like these shanties to like more deliberate. And it was kind of hard to tell because I think in some ways they were kind of adapting the imperial architecture that was pre-existent, but then it also seemed as though they were like adding their own flair to it, but not in like a strictly orc sense, but kind of like adapting it. So there was like more of a intelligent design to it. So
what I like the most about that is that they specifically say that one of the things that made the orcs so dangerous was this religion, this kind of religion of the Wa. And that kind of combined them all, and that was what was driving this danger.
Yeah.
At the same time, where you have the Imperium reforming under the Corpse Emperor, under religion, and the dangers that are coming from that there. So kind of a little bit of mirroring there. Not much, because you know it's like whoa, smash, bad orc talk. But it's kind of. I thought that was super interesting that was a reason. And honestly, after this book, these are the orcs I want to play in 40K.
Yeah. The musicians and the delivery truck drivers. No, I feel like that's cool.
Absolutely, for real.
You know,
if you do like an assault in an orc camp and there's like a delivery truck or anything going around, or even just kind of like instead of weird boys, if they had priests like orc priests or orc chanters or whatever like that, that would be amazing. If they reworked the WoW to stop being this kind of latent psychic force and just be this inert religion for everyone, then I think that would be amazing.
Well, I mean, what's the difference between the Wa and like the Gork or Mork religion?
So I mean, I see it's kind of the weird boys or the preachers taking kind of like a higher role in orc society and being kind of more revered as kind of like almost like they did in Warhammer Fantasy, where they were kind of like the prophets of the WoW.
Okay,
and they advised the war bosses where to go, because right now it's just kind of a war boss smash. This looks like a great target. Let's go there. Follow the battles. Yeah. Whereas if you kind of almost had some dude like divining, like kind of in a bastardized Eldar style, like kind of like bones of the future, then I think that would be a really good change.
Something I got a little nostalgic chubby for was the Wa Towers.
Yes,
the Mad Boy Towers. Like, I remember Epic. Like to see those like running around, like the battle wagons with like this tower and like psychic stuff coming out of it. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There was,
but I think that's like that did have like a change. There, and I hadn't really thought about that. But like where fantasy and in this, you're right. They were the leaders, they were the intellects, and so on. But like in 40K, they're tools. Like,
right,
that's
for
all
sure.
they are.
For sure, where like I said, I would love and kind of like to be able to have like a weird boy like that who's kind of more like a culture. I know that kind of like my personal fluff for my little orky tribe is going to change and evolve because of this kind of book here as well. Let's talk about the beast in the room. The beast,
literally,
we literally.
So we eventually get up through the tower in like a what was it? God damn it, Bruce Lee kind of way. He's going to the dragon. He's going to go fight the next level boss, and And there he is. He's sitting there, just as bosses do, in a chair waiting for the battle to happen.
And I think my favorite bit about that is it's described as just a statue. A massive orc statue.
Was it gold or something?
Something like that. It was like completely encrusted in like metal or whatever.
Yeah.
And they kind of just walk right on by him, and then, the boss stands up.
Yeah.
Well, what was it, like the psyker of the group? Wasn't it who like recognized it, didn't he?
You know what? Moving back.
Yeah.
And I know kind of we're skip jumping to like the very start of that, but this has reminded me about the Council of Psychers on the fleet.
Before they attacked the planet.
So before they attack the planet, they're in orbit over Eleanor. There's no real defense in space. So they're trying to figure out where the fleet is. Or sorry, where the beast is. So they get together about 10 to 12 psychers.
Basically 4 city centers on the planet, so they can't quite determine right away.
So they get together about 10 to 12 psychers.
Like the best of each of the different chapters that are there.
Into a conclave, which I thought was like, sell those data slates, good job. And they kind of commune to try and find the location. But then there's such massive psychic energy coming up from the planet that the chief librarian of the Ultramarines gets overtaken by the power of the Wa.
Yeah.
Gets incredibly violent and has to be put down. And about half of the other Psychers' heads explode from the Wa power.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool. They had like the Rune Priest was like going and attacking the Ultramarine priest or the Ultramarine librarian, and like Thane and Cortland are up in like the rafters like watching this going like, oh my god, he's gone crazy, he's attacking his own people. And they go to try to stop the Rune Priest, and then the Rune Priest like succeeds and kills the
pulls him back. Who was it? Was it Vulcan that was like no, or somebody pulled him back like wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Pulled Corlin
was it Vulcan?
Back.
Okay,
yeah, because they wanted to go stop him, and they're like he's attacking, and then it's like, oh no, wait, he saw what was happening and he was trying to prevent it from happening.
So that was kind of neat, where it was like the Rune Priest. I think it was like the what they call it, the spirit wolf or wolf something or other.
Yeah.
It has this, I don't know, it's almost like its own like psychic hood.
Almost like Wa-y, yeah.
It was able to kind of counter the Wa in a way. So it was almost, he had an immunity to it.
Yeah, he fought back with like the World Wolf? No, the Jaws of the yeah. And he was like fighting back against the Wa with that, and it was like interesting to see that it was able to versus the other guys were just like, pop, there goes the head.
How's your psychic hood now?
Pop goes the head. Yeah.
Well, and that did literally nothing to find the right center.
Yeah. And it was interesting how they did find the right center, because Corlin's like, we don't know where it is. We have no idea where it is. And he's like, if you were an orc, and like Vulcan goes to him, Vulcan goes and goes, if you were an orc, where would you put it? And he's like, I have no idea. He's like, think about it. Where was like the most, like the biggest, like significant place on this whole planet? And he's like, oh wait, where the Emperor like planted his flag and said, we killed all the orcs on here. And it's like, that's where they had it. And they're like, yeah, Gork.
I love it. I think like orcs are just poets.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, they're a bunch of like rude boy poets. They're just like at a bar, smashing people's face and like rhyming.
Yeah, but every rhyme it just rhymes with "wa." So.
Yeah, they're not very good.
That if Vulcan just took charge from the goddamn start, they would have won convincingly.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Because
what would he have done differently?
Well, he's just like, Corlin.
Everybody knows. You're the last one to know.
Just
think about
this. Where would you go? This city here? No. Think about it. Think about it. It's kind of like,
and during this whole time, like the Black Templars are like Leroy Jenkins, and it like on their way down to the planet, and he's and he's sitting there going, just think about it. Just think about it. Take your time.
What are your Black Templars doing?
Yeah,
those are the god guys. Oh god, it's just kind of like your kid. Okay,
yeah.
So if you're sitting there with your kid, right? And you have like a 600-piece Lego set in front of you. You want to encourage your kid to build that himself, even though you could do it in half the time, and it would be less infuriating. You'd be like, no, that one. No, the other way.
It took him 2 days to finish his train set, and the last of the 4 books, I did it in about 10 minutes. But yeah, no, I guess.
So that's the thing. Okay, but smash cut forward.
Yes.
To the beast.
So they determine it's the beast. The beast gets up out of his easy chair, out of his throne.
His lazy boy.
And he's just like, I think they look at him and they didn't even realize it was a person in there. They're just like, they thought it was like a big mechanical monstrosity.
Because it was huge.
Yeah.
It was bigger than anything they'd ever seen
bigger than
before.
Vulcan, and Vulcan was considered to be bigger than a dreadnought.
Yeah.
So like, here was this thing that was many times the size of a dreadnought.
Yeah.
I think, did they say that it was close to the size of a Stampa, something like that? Or,
It was something
Yeah,
huge.
it was something like that. They're
giant.
like huge.
And so they start fighting. But no, he's talking to them a little bit.
I would like a beast model.
So they're talking what were they? They were talking to him. He did know him High Gothic, but he had an interesting message, but I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was?
I can't remember.
Whatever. So they fought a
Y'all
bunch.
best be ready for
Yeah.
a fucking...
And he starts owning the group. I think they just barely get out of there. I think Vulcan ends up.
They
Staying.
leave Vulcan behind fighting him.
Because he's
Vulcan's
like,
like,
GTFO peeps, I got this.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold him. You guys get out.
And then he tears through Vulcan's chest. I mean, he's got like his armor's
It turns
thrashed.
into a really bad romance novel.
Yeah.
And his long flowing hair into the wind.
Yeah.
He just
He
makes out with
rips
the
at his
beast.
groin.
They go toe to toe. I think they really Corlund realized like, all right, well, we can't do this. I mean, Vulcan's basically telling like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You guys are going to survive. You have something that's more important to take care of. I'm just going to kill this guy, but I'm going to die. Everybody else is like, dude, you're an idiot. What are you doing? You can't leave him. What kind of shitty leader are you? Yeah. And they do anyway.
Yeah.
And that's essentially the end of Book 8 is the
Oh,
remnants.
worse, because they fly back, and as they're flying back, what do they hear?
Oh, okay. I am Slaughter?
I am Slaughter.
Yeah, so the
Over
attack...
After
and
they
over
saw
again.
Olenor, like that, what'd they call that town? Mecca something or other.
It was
Gorkagorod.
Gorkarod, yeah. So Gorkarod explodes.
Yes.
they,
After the Beast and Vulcan do an Emperor Palpatine and fall into the generator.
everything else gets destroyed. They escape. They fly back. Oh, by the way, there's a scene in there that I absolutely loved. I've been waiting to bring it up.
Go.
It was when the Mechanicum decided that they were going to take a fallen ship and turn it into an Ordinatus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, hey, look what I just built.
Yeah.
I was just in the shop about 10 minutes ago.
Well, I had these two tanks here with no guns, and then I had this space cannon fall out of the sky. What do you expect me to do?
Unfortunately, it gets leveled in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like the thing gets
Sweet
destroyed.
MacGyver.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So much duct tape.
So anyway, so they get after that, all that gets destroyed. They're heading back to Terra, and as they do, they hear "I am Slaughter," and they realize like, "Oh shit,
The
that's not
attack
the
moon on
beast."
Terra is back up in business, and that's
Yeah.
not the beast they killed. That's just some Stompa-sized orc that took a Primarch to kill himself to kill.
And they're trying to figure out what the hell is the beast.
Yep.
So,
So yeah,
book 8.
we are going to take a quick break because I feel Ted.
Yeah.
The book 9 is going to bring controversy to the table.
Oh boy, it already has.
Yeah.
Over our internet.
We're
Shake
gonna
my head.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right on back with book 9, Watchers in Death.
Man, my old lady's so moody right now. I hate that time of the month.
Not me. I buy generic tampons. They clean up all that gross lady stuff, and she's happy because we've saved money.
Wow, generic tampons.
I'll have to give those a try.
Damn, I can't believe I lost another game. All of my dice are rolling once.
Quit the whining, man. You should change your cotton.
Another rending hit! Thanks, generic brand tampons.
Generic brand tampons, not just for ladies. For a limited time, send in 6 applicator sticks for a free dice bag.
And we're back.
Are we, though?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
took far too long.
Okay.
Yay, poor little soundboard.
We abused it.
Watchers
So-
in Death.
Yeah.
One
man.
could describe as a divisive book.
Yeah.
Between those who know what good literature is
Wow.
and these
Wow.
idiots.
I know what shilling is.
So I got pandered to. I
so,
appreciated it.
Okay.
Take it away, Phil. Tell us about Watchers in Death.
So it basically
So we
goes
can
up-
shit on it later.
I want to keep it positive. Just
All right.
There we go. So in Watchers in Death, they go over basically the founding, the way that the Death Watch was founded, which after the Battle at Ulanor, that everyone just got their asses handed to them. All of these chapters came back, and none of them were at full strength because most of them just got like slaughtered left and right. And there was a whole bunch of these Space Marines who were really pissed off because they had lost a ton of their battle brothers in this failed mission, and they didn't even kill the beast. So a lot of them died.
Kill a Primarch, though.
A Primorc, as you very eloquently put out.
Oh, it took a Primarch.
And a Primarch, yes. But so they did, they did kill a Primarch, and they lost a whole bunch of battle brothers. So needless to say, they're kind of in a bad mood, and that says a lot for Space Marines who are traditionally in a pissed off mood themselves at all times. Anyway, so Corland is sitting there and he's talking with Van Gorich, and he's like, I don't know what I need to do. And Van Gorich is like, well, you're not going to be able to take it by just throwing people against the wall over and over again and hoping that you scratch the varnish until it finally goes down. Like, you can't do that. You're going to fail. They're going to outnumber you. They'll always be able to push and throw more people at you. And Corland's like, well, what can we do? And he's like, I don't know. I'm an assassin. We do things differently. Way we go in is we don't just run up into the walls and we take
Eureka, Steve!
Yeah. So then
let's act like Van Gorich.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
Wait, what? No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
No, show me your ways. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have a job. This is what I do. You can't take over because otherwise I'll be unemployed.
Yeah.
Mr. Van Gorich, sir, can I watch how you make death?
Yeah. Van Gorich is like, what?
I don't do that.
What are you talking about? There's
I
no way.
bowling balls.
Yeah, So Corland's like, nope, we're basically going to make Space Marine assassins.
Yeah.
And Van Gorich,
groups of them. He's like, we're going to do it differently.
We're going to do it differently. We're going to do groups of Space Marine assassins. Yeah. And Van Gorich is like, gulp. Like, what have I done here? So Corland goes out there and he starts requesting that all the chapters send like a bunch of dudes to work together on these kill teams. They start calling them kill teams that can go out and do a very specific mission in a very specific way without basically directing the ire of an entire attack moon onto them. So
this is kind of interesting because then he has to go back and sell the idea to the High Lords, who are none too excited about this. Like they're already like pissed every time that Corland is like reading a new magazine that he's starting a coup.
Yeah,
so like, hey, you're sitting again?
Yeah, exactly.
you're cooing.
Yeah, so he sits there. He's like, so get this. I know I started the last wall, and you guys are all pissed off that I'm like bringing back a legion.
Right.
Guess what? Now I want all the chapters to combine their forces,
like
Voltron, into this force.
I got something for this.
Exactly. We want to basically make a Space Marine A team that's going to be able to go out there.
Whoa! You can't say A team.
Oh, I'm sorry. A Space Marine.
They're
alphabet.
They're top of their
team.
class.
A team with Alpha team. We're going to go with Alpha team.
And we'll use an M dash instead of a hyphen.
Yeah, they pity, basically Corland pitied the fool who would say no to him forming up these teams. So the High Lords are like, no, we're not going to let that happen. He's like, did I stutter when I said I'm going to do this?
I love it. Like they're like, so I think they're all kind of like hoping that they'll pick him. Like, so who do you think would lead this? Who's going to be the one to oversee this? Like thinking
Corland's
that it's going to be like the ecclesiarch.
Me.
Yeah. He's like, me. I'm going to do this.
And all of them seem to be surprised.
Yeah, they're like,
I thought for sure you would have said the Imperial Navy.
And then the Imperial Navy's like, well, how are you going to get somewhere? There's no way you're going to fly on our ships. And then the Inquisition's like, I mean, we got a shit ton of ships that we're not doing anything with. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? He's like,
I think
why not you just let us do it? And then tell you what, we'll ride shotgun, and you can have all the ships you want to fly all of your big ass bros to wherever they need to be. And then the other High Lords are like, the fuck you just say?
I think my favorite bit is the ecclesiarchy guy just being like, blasphemy!
Yeah, and everyone's like,
blasphemy!
Yeah, over and over again. They're like, shut up.
This guy just like breaks a bus and O-ring. Like he is never the same after that. Like,
yeah.
Messering is just like
something just broke in his head. Yeah.
And I think like everybody realizes they're like, wait, he's not actually jockeying for power. He's literally he's actually like scared. He's terrified.
Yeah,
like, on a personal level, which is
understandable.
Doesn't happen.
You have, for the first time since the Horus Heresy, one man who was called reformed Legion in all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Who is now telling him that he will unite all of the Space Marine chapters into specific kill teams at his sole command.
Yeah.
To
that
do
you guys
whatever needs done.
That you can't do anything with and you have no say over what happens. And they're like, horse much? So
I forgot like how he eventually sold it to them.
So it was eventually sold. So they say no. He's all pissed. He walks away. I think he's still planning on doing it anyway.
Yeah.
But at that point, we find out the attack moon above Terra has just received a fresh resupply of orcs and weapons.
Oh, that's right.
Because they weren't allowed to go in the first time when they shut it down. The Mechanicus was like, don't go below level 13 because that's going to be ours. So just don't go down there. And they're like, that's exactly where we need to go to break shit up. And he's like, no, we're not going to know.
We want to use it to teleport Mars. Oops, I'm sorry, did I say that?
I mean,
teleport my sandwich.
Sandwiches. Totally innocent, oil-flavored sandwiches.
No, and by teleport, we mean bake.
Bake, yes. We're just gonna
they created these easy
fresh
bake
and
ovens
tasty
based off work technology. So they finally said okay.
Yeah.
They decided to merge together. They send out like their punch list. All right, we want Jeff. We want Punch Face. We want this guy. So they all show up,
Mr. T,
and all but one of them has painted their armor in black.
Yeah, no. I see. Okay,
because Thane didn't.
I agree with you on the majority of this. But what was it? Okay, so what was infuriating when I first
agree? He did.
No. It was like a bunch of them got together, but the thing was, each of them when they were getting ready to go make
Blood Angel didn't.
There was a couple of them who didn't because they were getting ready to go.
Like 20 or 30 got together. Yeah. About a quarter of them had painted their armor black,
just completely unrelated to each other. Because it was they started telling the story about the Tech Marine, the Dark Angel's Tech Marine
being burned.
Because he had like most of his armor was like a mess. Yeah. And he's sitting there with the with like the servitors who are like, "Oh, right, sir, we're gonna have to paint your armor," and he's like, "Paint it black, except for the one pauldron. Paint it black." And they're like, whatever." So they said, "Yeah." He's like, "Paint it black," and they're like, "But sir," he's like, "Did I stutter, or am I a space marine with a giant
that's your go-to
crusher thing?"
Line,
yeah, exactly. Did I stutter? Did I stutter? I'm a space marine, and they're like, "Yes, sir. Paint it black. Sounds good." So he's like going off to this meeting. He's like, "I'm going to be the only one in black because I'm just pissed off that all my friends are dead, and now I have to go fight with all these other dude bros, and I'm like not very happy with it." So he's all pissed off, and he's going off there, and he's like, "Yeah, my friends are dead, and I have to go do this." And he walks in, and he's like, "Oh, God, they all wore the same thing."
Like, well, no, that would be stupid. Like 7 or 8 of them wore black.
Yeah. They all painted their armor black.
And then everyone else was like, "Well, shit, if they're doing it, I want to do it too."
Except for Thane.
And then
Thane wasn't even there at that point. Because there was like a bunch of them. Like these guys all got together and they're like, "This means something. Like there's a reason that we did this. There's like an innate pull that we felt the need to do this." And that's when they start going through like figuring out what it means.
I really hated that scene.
Yeah,
so they did. I really hated that scene. It felt very forced.
The name part felt a little forced.
Well, okay, now I wasn't even getting to that point. That definitely felt forced.
Yeah,
but I think it was like them sitting around for paragraphs, going on like, "This means something. This is a thing. This is important. This is a new codex coming out."
Because you know something means something if you say it over and over.
That was good. But I thought it was good because I thought that this really showed. Because if you think about it logically, why?
I already did.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm saying, like, if you think about it logically, why would all these Space Marines from these different chapters really want to work together when they're like, "No, my 5 bros, my 5 battle brothers from my tactical squad can work way better together to do this. Like, why do I have to work with a stinky, smelly space wolf and like a blood angel with blood running down his chin? Like, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. There's no reason I should do that." And it's this moment that actually pulls them together, and they go, "There's a commonality to us. Like there's something innate to us being Space Marines, and there's something innate to our existence that pulls back to when the Emperor created our Primarchs, our progenitors." And that's what we're feeling this call. There's a reason that we all felt the need to paint our armor black. There's a reason that we feel this pull and this togetherness that this is creating. And I feel like that's the moment that the kill teams actually work. And the reason they still work, is because of the fact that they discovered this innateness, this essence of Space Marine within them.
That sounds like a disgusting perfume.
Yeah, it's totally disgusting.
One of my favorite scenes.
It smells like orc and
It smells like you haven't taken a shower in several millennia. And you've been sitting in your own feces inside of a super suit, eating your shit.
One of my favorite scenes from the book is when not the Death Watch yet, but they're loading onto the Thunderhawks to leave the planet to go to the attack moon, and you have Van Gorich and you have Wynand standing on the pad going, huh, they all painted their armor the same color. Huh.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then Wynand's like, yes, I like this. And Van Gorich is like, nuh-uh.
No,
nope,
this is not good.
Nope. And Wynand's like, I do. I think this is pretty cool. I'm down with this. This is cool.
I think it's interesting because like normally Van Gorich is like, I mean, he's a Space Marine fanboy of them all, right? Like, he has like 1,000 Ultramarines painted up like to pro level.
He's got his 12,000 point army. That
he plays Space Marines.
Like, he corrects us on our fluff.
But you know, like, and Wynand, I guess, like in a way, like she has nothing to lose at this point. Like her own people are out there to kill her. She's like, well, fuck it. Like I'm not going to play politics anymore. Like this is just great. Let's get it done. And but I think it's like when Van Gorich has to like say this is a bad idea. It's like, oh
you
man,
know it's a bad idea.
note. Yeah.
If he says it's a bad idea, you know it's a bad idea.
So the kill teams leave Terra.
Yes, to go off to go kick some ass up on the space the attack moon.
I got some of this.
Like how well planned these
seriously,
are.
Okay.
So they go take off to go to the attack moon.
I don't feel bad about using these because these are ringtone makers.
Yeah, nice. And they, but then they also, so when they're going up there, they're actually taking with them transportation or teleportation devices.
Yeah. Oh, you mean tainted Xenos tech?
Xenos tech, and they actually talk about that because like some of them are like,
wait. Because it's a little divisive here. Because now the Mechanicum did put their seal of approval on the orc tech.
Yeah.
So technically, it's not. Okay, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's totally orc tech that they're using. And the thing is, they even talk about that because the tech marine from the Dark Angels is like, dudes, this sucks. Like, there's no way we shouldn't be using the Xenos tech. This is disturbing and dirty, and we shouldn't be doing it. And they're like, yeah, but we're special. We shouldn't allow everyone to do it, just us.
Yeah.
Which do point
harkens
out,
back to what the Death Watch using.
And then they also had another piece of technology with them. They had an Arbite.
Yes.
They did point
out,
with a rebreather.
Yeah.
They did point out 12 to 15 times.
Armor.
They pointed out about 12 to 15 times that it was tainted Xenos tech on about a 3-page length.
On and on and on.
But it's tainted Xenos tech.
Yeah, well,
and that's when they were like, all right, but we need to use this because this is what's going to save Terra. But this shouldn't be allowed to be used by everybody. All the chapters. This should only be used by Death Watch.
Well, it's tainted Xenos tech. It should only be used by Death Watch.
Xenophase blades are only. Teleportation devices are only to be used by the.
There's cognitive reframing, is what they call it.
Yeah,
like the therapy world.
Yeah. It was for me. That was a little heavy-handed with the repetition of that. Like, okay.
Well, I think it was.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I think it's the same thing. Like when they came together with the black armor.
This means something
to me. I think it means something. Like what it basically does.
Sure, but they have to go on and on and on about it.
Well, but I think that's important because the thing is, the Death Watch inherently goes against everything that the Space Marines have been doing since the Horus Heresy.
Couldn't they have just printed David Annandale could have just printed a pamphlet for Phil that said this means something and it's Xenos tech, and then we could have just read the other one
with a big arrow so this means something. Yeah. It's like weddings are only special
little stars.
Marriage is only special because at the wedding ceremony you continually say "I do" 10 to 15 times in a row to make sure that you get it.
Make sure that you can hear it. What was that?
This means something.
All right,
Grandma Ethel. I said I do.
I get what you're saying, but I really felt that the thing is, the Death Watch really goes against everything that they've done. Like it's pulling them all together.
Sure.
They're using Xenos tech. They're they're putting aside all the differences that they've had, these divisions that were created after the Horus Heresy by Robu Guilliman.
Hey man, we get you.
To get
it means something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't as disturbed by it because I thought it was important because these otherwise it just makes the Space Marines, if they didn't have questions, if it didn't become a big thing. And they were just like, yeah, sure, we'll just work together. Yeah, sure, we'll just use some.
Well, I think that it would have been different. I mean, had they said it differently, had they come up with like a different reason. I mean, it really felt like it was redundant, and it was the same message repeated like over and over and over. And it wasn't like it was furthering a conversation or anything. Like it was
almost like he wrote a really good story, put it in, and then the editor hands him a note, being like,
make sure to say this.
Idiot's Guide to Deathwatch. Be like, hey, you need to mention all this stuff. And then so they put all that in, and he gets the book in, and then he puts it back. But it's like, yeah, you did mention this stuff enough. This is Deathwatch.
I don't know.
It's like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm going to put it in 3 pages. It's going to be the exact same thing. But everybody's saying it.
I disagree with how it was. But
this is where I pot his levels down and we just talk over.
Yeah, exactly. This is where I get cut off.
Okay, so moving along. So
they fly into the Xenos moon through the mouth in a badass sequence.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Thunderhawks
it was like Star Wars going into the reactor.
Deep into the center of it, like in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, right.
And then they get 3 separate targets, and they all get out, and they all have very precision tasks to do. Again, reinforcing this idea of the Death Watch in a natural, narrative-driven way.
Why did you just say that?
So you have...
now you're just antagonizing.
Yeah. He did say that he was a dick earlier.
So you have Corland with the power generators.
Yep.
You have Thane and his group with the in the control room, and you have another group of fuck-alls in some other part of it. And they're doing like a clinical precision thing, and their whole plan is they are going to attach these crude Orc teleporters to the Orc power source. And what that will do is it will simultaneously transport them back to the Inquisition ship and teleport the moon into God knows where.
Just away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They didn't even
that's as much as the Mechanicum could guarantee was that
and even then
it would just be away.
That.
Yeah, they were like pretty much away. I don't know, maybe
this is like after they beamed it away. They were like, so where did they send that thing? We haven't got that far yet.
Yeah.
So they came into heavy resistance. But again, another small issue I had with the book. Was none of the characters were ever in peril for me. At no point did I think any of the Death Watch would fall.
In this mission.
In this mission. I loved the Space Wolf using his lightning claws to cut Orc throats out before they can scream alarms.
Yes.
That was super badass.
Yeah, that was.
Was this the... I can't remember. This wasn't this... Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah.
So
don't spoil later ones.
So they get the teleporter things in place. They turn them on just before they're overrun. They are very violently teleported back to their ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's described in
blood
such detail.
oozing out of their face.
Yeah.
And their body had shifted and then moved back. Like it was not a clean Star
fun.
Trek teleport.
Yeah, they didn't get beamed up by Scotty.
No, it was like we think
they
your
got
second heart goes.
Yeah, they
here.
basically got hurled in pieces across the
the
warp.
Kind of back together again.
Yeah.
And then they look out and they see that half of the attack moon has disappeared. Just
crumbles
half.
in on itself.
Yeah, only half.
Only half crumbles in on itself. The rest kind of orbitally bombards Terra by falling down.
Yeah.
It destroys billions of people it kills.
Thankfully, Terra has a few billion.
Yeah, they've got a couple billion, so they've got a few to spare.
The High Lord of the Ecclesiary kind of gets either killed or made by dust.
No, he doesn't get killed. It just pins him, it collapses the room that he's in, and he's stuck underneath, which was like the final snapping point of him, where he just goes crazy, go nuts.
Yeah,
from that point on.
So they won, kind of.
Yeah.
They're all happy because the moon's gone. It's no longer spouting out "I am slaughter."
But this is one of those weird victories. There's never a clean victory in this. I mean, in general, this is probably the cleanest victory they've had.
Yeah, and like half of the fleet that was up there, blasting away, giving them the space to get into the attack moon, is obliterated in the explosion and stuff like that. So it's like
that's the cleanest victory they had until the next Death Watch mission, which is Return of the Mary Sue. Again, it was so they're successful with that, so they decide to do the Death Watch again and send them back to Eleanor, right?
I think like this.
No, that's later.
No,
that's later.
So no, that's later. They go for the Sisters of Silence.
Yeah.
They're going to go search for the hunt for the Sisters of
And
Silence.
the High Lords are pissed off that it works so well in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think like they were
They're
like,
like, well,
all right, cool, you're done, right? One and done, right? Right? No?
And they're
What?
like, no.
Yeah.
No. We like this, so...
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
And now the High
Corlin
Lords
comes down with like a cigar in his mouth, and he's like, fuck you.
and just when the High Lords thought it couldn't get any worse, they're like, hey, by the way, we're going to find the Sisters of Silence. Like, what?
Yeah.
Not them.
It's like, okay, that sounds what?
He's like, yeah, okay. What? Yeah.
So yeah, they go off to find the Sisters of Silence. They go to like a couple different worlds to find them.
Veritas leads this like mission.
It was like a Final Fantasy quest.
Yeah.
Go find the map, then find the key, then go find the...
Yeah.
So it
Old
turns out,
lady.
so they go
Yeah.
to this planet that's under like orbital attack as well. So then that's when a 5-man kill team transports aboard an Orc cruiser.
Right.
No. Oh, was that this one? I thought that was the second planet they
was-
get to. Isn't the
yeah.
first one they get to like the orbital station with the
well,
information?
just kind of like skipping forward a little
Okay,
bit.
because they go to like orbital station
Although
with
that one-
information on where they go. That was pretty.
That
cool.
one I dug because I think that was
Yeah.
the one where they're going through the dome, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And I think like this is I love this scene where like they were trying to stick to the shadows and like orcs were going through and just like rampage, like defiling this like
Everything.
holy shrine
Yeah.
dome thing.
And they had to like hold the collar of the space wolf.
Yeah,
He's
this
like, I'm
Space
supposed
Wolf's
to kill them.
Oh, I'm gonna take him
He's
out.
like, yeah.
This is not honor. This is like holding me back is not honor. And he's like, well, fucking up the mission isn't honor, dumbass.
Yeah.
All right, you got a point.
Okay.
And then so they stick to the shadows. It takes a while, and I think like the orcs like they go and like they're like a whole bunch of like drunk hooligans.
Yeah.
And they're,
Just, like, knocking everything over.
and they're like rampaging back, like defiling Manchester. Yeah. then they're like, all right, let's go kill him. So they just, hop on them and just like ruin like 100 boys with like 10 dudes.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And,
And then they get to this like dome that's supposed to have the information, and Veritas is like, they're supposed to be here. Like this, the key to where we're supposed to go is supposed to be here. And everyone's like, yeah, you're an idiot. There's no information here. They've ruined everything.
And what was it? The peripherals of the psyker's eyes. He's like, oh wait, I can only see it through my peripherals.
Yeah.
Which, scientifically speaking, women have better peripherals than men. So it only goes to show that this was actually a Sisters of Silence dome.
There we go.
So, but anyway,
Yeah. So then they're like, turn off your lights. We need to see like this dome in like pitch black. And when they turn off the lights, they see a star map.
it was a bunch of glow in the dark stars.
Yeah,
that they
basically,
put on
yeah.
the ceiling.
Yeah, like the middle school.
Live
Yeah.
at the planetarium.
Yeah, it was like my middle school bedroom. It had a bunch of stick-on stars in the ceiling. So glow in the dark is what it took.
So then, they run out. They find like the next piece to the Final Fantasy quest.
Yeah.
Jump in their ship, and then they find the orc attack fleet.
yeah. So there's like this fleet that's bombarding this one planet, and there's like this one castle on this plinth of
Whoa,
land.
we haven't got there. John wanted to.
Oh, that's where.
Yeah. In space.
Yeah, in space. Orcs in space.
5-man enter. 5-man, no. So five-man kill team enters the main orc ship.
They're like, we can't
with
take out one of these ships with our ship.
No.
So what do we do to stop this so that we can get down on the planet?
Shoot some guys into it.
Yeah. So they take the tainted Xenos tech. No one else can use it. It's tainted. Onto the ship, and they kind of do the attack moon attack again, where they kind of wire that into the power cell.
Yo, bro, check this out.
Yeah, they get violently Well, they meet actually another beast-sized orc while they're there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, but they also
bigger than a
but the way they worked it, they were like, we need to be able to get into this place. There's no way we can do it with all those orcs over there. So most of the kill team is going to go to this side of the ship and just start raising hell so that all the orcs run that way. Then we want you, the tech marine, to take this teleporter into the engine room and do your thing over there. So they go away, A-team the crap out of it, deceive the orcs and start raising hell, and they start killing like hundreds of these orcs on this ship.
Yeah.
And
taking out their guns, I think that was part of it. They're trying to take out their guns.
Destroying the guns, the cannons, and going through. And the Tech Marines is getting to the engine room, and then he gets to the engine room, he's about to set up, and then they have this giant orc there who's like, I'm going to kick your shit
Something
in.
that I thought was really interesting about
the
the engine room is it had a sun in it. It was a miniature sun. It
Yeah.
was powering this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It was like a-
whatever.
yeah, it was like a plasma engine,
What do you
like,
got? Oh, I
without
got a
a react-
Remy
like-
V8. Oh, I got a sun. That's powering my shit.
It was Dr. Octopus with the power of the sun in the palm of his hand. It's a Spider-Man 2 reference.
Ooh.
No, that's Spider-Man 2.
The other Spider-Man too. Yeah, so then the rest of the kill team is like, oh shit, like they're onto us, so now make our way back to the Tech Marine, who is trying to set up this teleporter and getting his ass handed to him at the same time by like all these orcs who are like shooting him, and he's like taking shots to the chest and like to the arm, and he's just like getting beat up, but he's also like holding his own and getting it all attached.
Well, what did that orc like? What kind of gun was that orc holding? It was like a Giga shooter or something. What was that? Describe that orc.
It was like a massive, like I said, the size of like multiple autocannons or something.
Yeah.
Strapped together.
Yeah, it was like an Avenger Gatling cannon from like a ship that he just like was holding in his
And
hands.
this guy was ginormous. Would you say that was a prime orc? Was that
not
level?
quite,
No,
not
he
quite
was
that
not
level.
that
It was
big.
pretty close. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a war boss.
No, it was like So he was like,
And he was just like chilling in the room, like,
Yeah.
hey.
Leading I think he's leading because the bigger they are, the smarter they are.
Yeah.
They're leading it out. But yeah, so they...
I have to say, like, it's gotta suck to be orcs because, like, when you have to build like your passageways and your doors and everything, you have to accommodate for that big motherfucker.
yeah, for the boss. Yeah,
Accommodated by the fact you will get bigger.
yeah. So once again,
It works flawlessly.
kicks their ass, they get back.
The half the ship disintegrates again.
Yeah.
And then the other half destroys the entire fleet of orc ships.
Yes. Perfect.
Right on.
Entirely.
They rolled a 6. What are you gonna do?
It was a natural one.
Yeah. Yeah. The orcs rolled a 1. They rolled the Death Watch rolled a 6.
99.
Yeah, that's just the way
I
it
think it
works.
was entirely just so they could use the line. It was like, see how 5 mere Marines took out an entire fleet of ships.
Click here.
Yeah, click here to find out more.
Click here to buy the codex.
Yeah.
So they get to the Earth or the planet.
I'm honestly surprised the audio dramas and this point are like, as he translated back to the real space, his insides hurt, but he looked at the destruction he had wrought, for the entire orc fleet was dead by his hands. Bing! Click here to buy digital Death Watch codex. Bing! But yes, anyway, down to the planet's surface.
Yes.
Badass moments on the planet's surface.
A horde of orcs are just totally bombarding and attacking this citadel up on this plinth of rock that is fighting back. So they're like, oh shit, there's actually someone there fighting back. We need to get to it. So, but they're getting overrun by these orcs. It's like an entire they call it like a field, but in my mind, I was imagining like an entire the entire space of Anchorage just covered in orcs, like leading to just like the Sheridan Tower.
I was imagining the cornfield from 300. As he walks away to battle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So like they're just like there's tons of there's Stampas that are just like shooting and like knocking out pieces of rock, and they're hoping to like basically topple this castle, this citadel, down to the ground so they can just get at it and just start ripping shit up.
That's when the kill team... Well, there's a couple of different things going on. The best part would be when the kill team jumps out of a Thunderhawk onto the shoulders of a Stampa, fights his way through the eye,
Yeah.
and then destroys the entire ship from the inside.
Do you have Fast and the Furious music? Because that's what I feel. Or like Triple X. That's what I felt like
I have
this was.
Triple X music on here.
There we go.
No.
Bow chicka wow.
Yeah.
No.
So they at this point they dropped off the Inquisitor, right?
Yes, they dropped off Wynand.
This is like I think like the salvation for the. I mean, this was a great aspect of the book. I thought like a pinnacle moment where like all these. I think what's his name? Weiser, not
Veritas.
Yeah. So he's there. He's like because he's been wanting this whole thing. He's like, I want to meet the sisters. It's gonna be so
However,
great.
as
I'm
he's
gonna have
lit-
all the sex. And then he gets like dropped off with Winan, and she's like, you can't be here. He's just like looking like a dumbstruck like fanboy, like, I'm gonna meet a girl, and she's like, you can't be here, and he's like, you're right,
because
squeegee
he's
my pants.
blatantly psychic, and he can't be around the sisters.
Well, I thought it was more that they weren't going to accept.
Yeah,
well, that too.
And the Marines had a good book too. It was like all the boys,
Everybody,
off.
the boys out of here.
It's a girls only.
Yeah,
party.
no boys allowed.
And she pulls out like her Hello Kitty like fingernail polish set, and like we're gonna get it on PJs.
And that's when the fantastic Sisters of Silence live up to their name by having a conversation.
Oh yeah. So this is God. I love this. This scene
I
was
love
great.
their reasoning for talking though.
Right. This was like they're kind of like fuck you to the Imperium. They're like, well, we're not going to be quiet anymore because you guys have screwed it all up.
Yeah,
so
and they're like, yeah, we took
are.
a vow to the Emperor. No, this piece of shit you're calling an Imperium.
Yeah, and that's why they took off and hid like in this citadel in the middle of nowhere space. So it wasn't even on the charts, I don't think, when they were trying to find out. So
I think like this scene was like broken up over multiple chapters, so they had like little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, or no, I guess it was one chapter, but it was like broken up with like a lot of different things. So like they really kind of spaced it out, and I like that spacing, you know, like that kind of drawing it out, and yeah, but it like came down to like the very last moment when Winan was able to like convince him, like, all right, look, like it's all a bunch of shit, but when it comes down to it, like it's the last shit we have, and like I hate it too. They try to kill me, my own people are after me. Like, let's band together, sisters.
yeah,
and do our thing. Like, fine. We'll
and then they vote about it, and they're like, all right, I think it's bullshit, but I guess we'll vote for this. And then they finally like discuss, and they're like, you know what, we did,
and then
vow to protect the Emperor.
I was gonna anti-grav rhinos.
Yes,
out of nowhere.
Which goes back
cool
in the
as
fluff,
hell.
So,
yeah,
and it's weird. It's like to think like
so for me,
because everybody's like seeing these. Yeah, I love like they see it from the distance, like all the Death Watch, like rhinos. Where'd all these rhinos come from? And then they're like, wait, they're flying down a hill. They're not just driving.
How are they going to get down from up there? Oh damn!
That's I mean, part of that was cool. Part
rhinos
of it was like, oh god,
in space.
Okay, they're cooler than you guys.
Yeah,
there's canon 50 Sisters of Silence.
Yeah.
So we're talking about
I'll pack into 3 rhinos.
10 rhinos max, or like 5 rhinos.
Yeah.
That are then going to fly down the hill. How did they get off the planet with the rhinos? Or are they just flying the rhinos down to land in a field?
We didn't get to that part. That was the end.
I just like to, they're like, yeah, check out our sweet ride. Yeah, we can't take them though. We're gonna go park them again. That's just
they had to go.
But we'll see.
They flew them to park and ride, and then got on the Thunderhawks.
And then that's
they got on the Muni Thunderhawks and then took off from there.
So that was the end of the book with the Sisters of Silence back on Terra, reaffirming their faith to the Emperor and retaking their vows of silence.
That's right. Because that wasn't they did have another moment where like they got to walk into the Golden Throne.
Yeah, and everyone else is like, oh, why did they? And they're like,
and the High Lords
because
continue to shit themselves.
Yeah,
and that's how that book ended. How are we enjoying it? This quarter, I should say, 7, 8, 9.
I loved it.
It wasn't my favorite, but I think that it seems like it lulled for a little bit. Not lulled. It lulled a little bit, and then I think I think it's starting to. It feels like it's starting to pick up again. Like it just kind of went through some bookkeeping, because I guess like in a lot of ways, like nothing. Like for the first 2 books, not much really substantial, like no keepers happened, like there wasn't like a decisive battle, there wasn't like a turning point really, it was the last book where I think like we're starting to see like, all right, now this stuff matters, this is the stuff that's gonna carry in, assuming.
So for me, like I said, these 3 books, I did enjoy them. Like I said, I had issues with Watchers in Death.
I did not.
But I really feel this kind of quarter of the series is, like you said, a bookkeeping thing. They have certain plot points they need to hit at the end. They need certain characters in certain locations for the last quarter. Yeah. And then the main purpose of these books was to make that happen. We needed
I can see that.
We needed to show the formation, like, because look at what we accomplished. These 3 books: the formation of the Death Watch, found Vulcan, found Sisters, destroyed Moon, showed the ability for Death Watch to do things.
Also showed the inability of normal tactics to take out the
normal
beast.
tactics. So we had all of these things we had to do. We had to increase
tension
Van Gorge's power. We had to increase tension between the rest of the High Lords. There's all of these things that needed to do to kind of set up to where we're going. Because, like I said, we're heading. The last book's called The Beheading. And I say going into this series, there was 2 things we knew about this time period. One was the beheading, and one was that there was a warlord called the Beast. So, knowing that, like I said, we have all of our pieces in place now, and we'd be really excited to see how this last quarter goes. Like I said, the first 3 books, you're world building. You're setting up the universe. You're setting up the rules. You're setting up what's happening. The second quarter there, you're kind of setting the stakes. You're kind of making your antagonist dangerous. You're trying to get all that stuff here. This is kind of said you have your bookkeeping section here, and I think 10, 11, 12, and Phil, you're ahead of me, so you already know this. Yeah. It's going to be balls to the wall, getting everything resolved. Mm-hmm. So that's where I see it going.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
I've thoroughly enjoyed this series. I probably put this up there as one of the...
No, he hasn't.
No. Yeah. Ted knows it. I've really liked this series. I think it's been fantastic. I think the action scenes have been really well done. I've liked the characterization that they've developed. It just seems very interesting. I've really enjoyed the series so far. And I think it's kind of cool to see different authors' takes on the same story. Sure. You know what I mean? Which is kind of interesting, seeing them work together like that.
I think like one of the neat things I think about this last quarter is that I think like for the first like few, it definitely felt like each book had like there was a it was almost like it was formulaic in a way where there was like you had like your main characters, you had like your recurring characters, but then there was also like a story within that had a beginning, middle, end. And all those people were wiped out in the end. So I think like that was there was like that chick that was like,
on that planet,
the Mariner or whatever, she dies, and then
the
like
pirate,
you had like a few of those like where every book there was
heart wrench that was good.
What was it, like Emperor Expects? You had like the Navy captain who was like boom boom boom, he's dead. Like so you had like these arcs that were complete, they were done, the characters were toast, but then you had a few people that were string throughout. But now I think we are into that point where like we're done with all that, and now we're onto like it's the main people, the main plots, the main everything.
Yeah. Those are the sides. This is like the main meat of the thing. So it's not going to be self-contained. It's going to be just constantly building.
Mm-hmm. The one thing we didn't touch on at all is the slow fall to chaos of the Company of Fist Exemplars.
Oh, yeah, that's just like little tease here and there.
Little tease here and there about how he's ignoring Thane. He was happy when his peer died, so he didn't have to tell Thane that he was still working with Iron Warriors. Like I said, to me, that's a really interesting kind of side nugget as well.
It's going to be interesting to see as that develops.
See where that resolves. Looks like that's going to be book
it's definitely
10,
developing.
By the way, Phil.
No,
you just be quiet, Phil. You just be quiet.
Not even book 10. It definitely develops.
But yeah, so I mean, and that goes and say that's kind of a nice little side plot, and kind of things like this. I really hope after this they continue to tell stories in the 32nd millennium.
It would be interesting.
They've done a hell of a lot of work to build this universe and kind of telling stories from the perspective of the Fallout. I mean, because you have a lot of Fallouts here. Biggest orc invasion in years. Reformation of essentially the Legion. The High Lords in disarray. There's the wealth of storytelling possibilities there.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
All right. Well, we're going to take one quick last fake break, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up.
Fake break.
Woo!
12,000 years ago, man discovered mammal boob, and ever since then, we have been sucking mammal milk. Now, in a new, seductive, udder-shaped plastic jug, milk can be brought with you wherever your travels lead you. Whether the boardroom, the dinner table, or the mountaintop, you can guzzle as much of that yummy, white, sebaceous cream your heart desires. Milk has wonderful attributes, like colostrum, a chemical found in the mother's milk immediately after she gives birth to her young calf. Now you could take advantage of the disease-curing effects of colostrum in your body. Treat your mouth to the wonderful mother's nectar of milk. Take it with you on your next adventure.
Well, that was a sweet fake break.
Yay, fake break.
I feel refreshed.
Yeah. We're going to be back with The Beast Arises probably end of March.
Whatever.
I think end of March, start of April.
Every time we promise something, it doesn't happen.
Maybe July, June.
It could be June.
July.
Could be, could be January.
Maybe next December we'll come back to at the end of those.
I can't guarantee it's not going to be before LVO. 5 weeks ago, Ted. I
got to unpack my books.
We got this. Got to learn how to play the game. But yeah, so that's been episode 40 of Mob Rules.
Yeah. Mob Rules. Thank you for playing.
Yeah, thank you. And to let you guys know, if I do any more mini episodes, they will not be numbered per the podcast.
Man, I was all excited. Like, oh, yay, we don't have to podcast, I can just go to sleep.
No.
I mean, I love podcasting. I shouldn't have said that.
I dragged you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the only real thing to do is just enjoy and just kind of let it slowly play us out.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
Oh, of course I had to.
All right.
see you
So
guys.
yeah, see you guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
wait, bye.
This episode of Mob Rules has been brought to you by Mob Rules Media. Please join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation at facebook.com/MobRulesAK. You can also email us at themob@tophat-arts.com. Thanks for checking us out, and we will see you in 2 weeks.